Well, hello. Welcome to our fun evening game. I am Goat, for those who have interacted with me in our Discord. For those who don't, um, hi, I'm not Camille. um, Tonight we are doing something a little different. There are a lot of great RPGs in the world. D&D is definitely one of them, but we are going to play a one-shot in the Crafty Games Mistborn adventure game, based on the novels by Brandon Sanderson. It's kind of a Wild West theme, so you'll notice some guns and some rootin' tootin' characters going through here. Uh, let's go ahead and have everybody go around and introduce your character, and then I will do our intro and we'll get started. So, Jeremiah Hudson, if you'd like to start us off.
Oh, well, I get to go first, I see. My name's Jeremiah Hudson, and I run this saloon here on the bluffs. Uh, I can't trust nobody to help me with this saloon, so I take care of it all myself. I pour the drinks, I clean the tables, and, well, I keep the rowdy crowd out.
Excellent, excellent. Let's see. Clarity Modesta, if you would kindly grace us with your introduction.
Hello, y'all. If y'all are looking for a good time, you come on down to the bustle, and me and my girls will take care of you. We're just trying to make our way and do a little good in this world.
Sarah, if you would kindly follow that.
No problem. I just spontaneously decided I was going to use my Appalachian accent, which I have not done for a while, so it's going to be a little weird, but that's okay. My name's Sarah. I look a little different. I'm kind of big. I'm real big. I'm like a couple heads higher than everyone else, and I'm this color. And I don't got much hair. I just got like a little hair and a little ponytail in the back. It just comes from the back of my head. I usually wear a cowboy hat to cover the baldness up. I come from pretty far away, and I sort of wander around. Nobody really knows much about where I come from, but I'm a bodyguard for hire. And I have a tendency to say things that are true, but not really something that you're supposed to say. So fun to be around if you don't got a big ego.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, and I have a big old sword strapped to my back, and it looks real cool.
Just absolutely massive sword. Abner shot. I ask in the middle of your drink.
Darn tootin', this dang mute button don't work none. Hi, I'm Abner Silvershot. You see, around these parts, I'm known as what's called a gunsmith. I make what people like to use to shoot stuff. You see, back in the day, I worked as a little bit of a freelance courier of sorts, delivering missives and taking notes from one person to the next. And wouldn't you know it, my curious nature got the better of me one of these days, and I read some secret info that I probably shouldn't have been reading, but that's how I got my start as a gunsmith. You see, there were some special notes typed down in there, and well, needless to say, these days I'm a little paunchy, dressed to the nines in a nice suit, and I've got my good old 10-gallon hat as anyone ever does round these parts. But, you know, nothing beats taking to the dusty trail with my good old faithful hound, Pike. Isn't that right, boy?
Oh, Lord. All right. And Elizabeth.
Well, hello there. My name's Elizabeth Skylock. See, I used to be a potato farmer in the roughs, and, well, the roughs are called that just for one reason. They are rough. And it kind of caught up with me, and unfortunately, I wasn't fast enough for an encounter. And you see, there was this one person that I'm now looking to seek revenge. They took my left eye. That's why I've got this mechanical functioning thing right here. And, well, I decided the best way to get revenge was to become a marksman. That's right, I'm an eagle-eyed gunslinger. And I guess some people, those with less class, might call me the rootinest, tootinest cowboy out there.
Oh man. So this is our crew for the evening. Let's figure out where we are exactly. You all reside in a town called Last Stand, an ominous name for a storied settlement. It's north of Callingfall and kind of east of the Tyrian Sea. It's sort of on the edge of known society. Go much north of where you all live, and you're going to be in the wilderness where no one really knows what lurks there. It's called Last Stand for two reasons. One, like I said, it's on the edge of civilization, so kind of the final frontier. But it's also where the famous One Eyed Joe made his last stand versus some kind of nondescript creatures. Legends don't get too specific, but they say that this little farmer settlement came under attack, and he stood in their way and managed to drive them all back. Cost him his life, but there's a big statue of him in the center of town, and the name just kind of stuck. It's far enough out where people coming through here are usually coming with a purpose, and it's usually to leave. But it's on kind of the very edge, about a couple miles north of where the last rail stop is. So it's you do get some trade. It's not so far out to where you never hear from anybody, but it's people coming through town is a abnormal thing. So Jeremiah, you're opening up the bar one morning, and a couple of your regulars walk in.
Well, come on in. I'll get the whiskey out. Help yourselves to whatever seat you'd like, and I'll be right over to you.
Well, Jeremiah, it's a right bit early to be breaking into the whiskey, but if you just got some water, I'll be happy with that.
Switching it up today, I see. Okay.
You know, this man is Jed. Him and his two sons usually come in here in the mornings. You're not really sure what they do, but they're here in the morning, they leave, and then they're here at night.
I'm sorry, Jed. Usually somebody beats you to the punch, and as a saloon barkeep here, I'm happy to oblige whatever drink anybody wants at any time. I'll get your water.
That's why we come here. Also, because it's the only bar in town, but you help it out quite a bit.
You know, I do what I can, Jed. What water for you, and what can I get your boys here?
Oh, they're fine. Don't worry about them. And as he says that, they both were like starting to say something, and then they started just
I'll look over.
Sit back down.
I'll catch one of their eyes and I'll wink at them real quick, and I'll see you get a water.
Kind of flash you a little thumbs up.
See a water. Here you go. That doesn't say it's a sparkling water for you, Jed. I know. I'll bring them water, and then I'll bring some orange juice in small cups for the kids, for the boys.
Excellent.
There you go,
Jeremiah, did you hear that the rail car is supposed to be bringing some supplies soon?
What kind of supplies?
We never really know, but it looks like the rumor is it's quite a bit of some aluminum.
Not much one for aluminum. You know me, the namesake of the saloon, the Tin Cup. I'm more of a tin man, so I guess that doesn't interest me much, Jed. But thank you for the information.
Kindly. I hope it brings you extra business, because usually when you got shipments of aluminum, you got a lot of guards coming through.
Yeah, well,
valuable stuff that there aluminum is.
Most people are happy to hear about a lot of guards coming by this town, but a lot of guards usually brings a lot of trouble.
Yeah, hopefully they keep the trouble away, and they spend their money.
Jed,
me and the boys out at the fruit stand could love to have them give us some money.
Well, money is what keeps us afloat, so anything they bring, I guess we'll just have to deal with it as we've been doing.
All right, well, I appreciate you. And they grab their drinks and they go to a table and they just kind of start talking. He looks and sees that they've got some drinks as well and kind of gives you a little side eye and it's fine.
Don't worry, Jed. Those are on the house for the boys. Your water, though. We'll talk about it later.
I'm sure we will. Abner, as you start the day, getting your shop kind of in order, what What do you have on the docket?
What do I have on the docket? Well, I suppose same thing I always do. Making ammunition that's gonna sit around and languish on my shelves because nobody comes through this damn place. But there are plenty of varmints to shoot, so that's a thing. So, before I get busy with that, though, I gotta go to the saloon and get a little bit of my breakfast and a little bit of drink because nobody works without having a steady hand, you know?
That is right true. So you make your way on. Elizabeth, where do we find you this morning?
Probably same place you can always find me, out in the back, practicing with my targets. Got a picture of that person plastered on every single one of them. Trying my best to get as dead center as I possibly can.
With precision and impressive speed, you strike the target several times. Most of them dead center, a few a little bit off, but your aim is practiced and true.
Other
As
than that,
you, Abner, as you're walking, you hear bang, 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 bang. Bullets ricocheting off something kind of not too far away. It's not an unfamiliar sound, though.
Elizabeth's at it again, wasting ammo on tin cans. Why she got to be doing that? Well, suppose I can't complain too much. She is my best customer in this dang dust bowl.
And clarity modita.
Well, I mean, I'm going around to the ladies' rooms. Jolene, if I find that scoundrel in there and he hadn't paid, coming out of your salary.
Oh, he's not here. He left
All right.
last night like he was supposed to.
All right, you girls get downstairs. I hear there's a shipment of aluminum coming in, and that means we're going to have some business today.
Ooh, we'll get all gussied up now.
All right, you girls do that. I'm going to go be in my office for a few, and I'm going to start charging my
Storing.
zinc mine. Yeah, storing. Yeah, there we go.
Excellent. Where do you wear your zinc mines, by the way?
I've got a choker around my neck that has a nice big pendant.
Excellent. All right. And then Sarah, where are we this morning?
Well, I figure I just wandered into town pretty recently and had a bit of a crisis thinking how I wandered this far because I'm not really likely to get much work here. So I might as well have a little fun with all these people. I don't see a lot of folks like me around here, do I?
No. Occasionally you do, and with the rumors of aluminum coming through, it wouldn't be abnormal for there to be one or two Koloss-blooded guards. But it's definitely an uncommon occurrence.
All right, that feels like I can have some fun with it. So I'm gonna head over to the bar, and I'm gonna take a pause before I walk in and just imagine to myself that I'm gonna make some grand entrance. And I'll push open the doors to the bar, and I'll walk in, and I'll look to see if anyone's looking at me.
Go ahead and roll charm.
All righty. That's not my strong suit. So if I do that, do I roll 3 dice?
Yes, you roll 3 and you're looking for doubles. We'll say that your impressive physique can add 1, so go ahead and roll a 4th die.
I got 2 5s.
Ooh,
and 1 6.
5s. And a nudge. Okay, so you make quite the entrance. What does that nudge add to it, though?
I feel like it's almost like everyone here, you know that music that you get in Westerns, like, no, like when everyone just sort of hears that in their head. It just some kind of strange synergy. And I just walk in like I own the place.
Jeremiah, Jed, and his boys all suddenly sort of look. And you're a known figure in town, but oh boy, do you cause quite the scene as you move into these kind of spaces.
Now, Ms. Jonas, You know, you don't have to walk into the saloon every time like that. You're gonna wear my doors short.
I'll apologize if I did anything to your doors, but it's kind of the best part of my day. I'm gonna do that. So I'm just gonna keep, if that's okay, I'm just gonna keep doing that. I don't have a lot of things to make me so happy. So
No, no, I know you won't stop doing it. I've been asking for quite a while now.
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm
I
not
guess maybe
so.
I keep asking in hopes, but you can continue being your lovely self. Would you like a seat?
I would, and I would also like a drink if you wouldn't mind. I'll get like two of them just to make up for the damage to the door.
Well, I got whiskey and I've got whiskey. Of course, if that's okay with you, Jed, I know you think it's a little early.
Like what other people do with their bodies in free time, none of my business.
Yeah, I'd like a whiskey and a whiskey.
Like a whiskey and a whiskey. Here we go. Two
All
tin
right.
cups. The tin cup. Just a little sparkling whiskey for you.
Sparkling whiskey.
Here's
That is
one,
all
and
righty.
here's a second. And you know what? I think I'm gonna join you. It's already been an early morning.
She's gonna double fist it. There, having a good time.
Thank you for the sunshine today.
Around this time, Abner's when you'd arrive at the bar.
Just push through the door gently. And seeing Jeremiah behind the bar, I call out, "Hey, Jeremiah, it's time for my morning drink. Pour me a whiskey. Don't make it sparkling."
Of course. Not. I would never for you. Silver, here we go. I got this Four Roses. It's a new batch.
Sounds great.
Here we go.
Say, you don't mind if the dog comes in, right?
Do I ever, Silver?
Nah. I just
We don't-
figured I'd ask for decorum's sake.
Well, I'll appreciate it. We don't serve much food in this part, but go ahead. Bring them on in. Here's your shot. And I place it in front of you.
Thank you kindly.
How's business going, Silver?
It's about as dry as the air out there, you know?
Well, why don't I put in an order for some shotgun shells? As many as you can make in a week's time.
You got it. Do you want it with tin like you usually ask?
You know me so well.
How can I not? You're one of the only people around here that buys anything.
You got a lot of people shooting up your bar? Why do you need so many bullets?
I've got my reasons, Miss Jonas.
Well, yeah, I figured I was asking your reasons, so I wouldn't have asked if I thought you didn't have none.
See here, Miss Jonas, that was my answer to let you know that I wasn't keen on answering your question.
See now that's a direct answer. I respect the directness.
Well, I appreciate your and then I turn and take a shot and I start wiping another end of the bar.
Around this time, a few other people start streaming in. Some more of the locals. Nothing odd. And then you hear something in the distance. Sounds like a whole lot of horses coming in. It's pretty abnormal. But, maybe it's the shipment coming through.
Sounds like the shipment's coming through.
It sure does, Miss Shot. Not Miss, just Shot. Silver. I don't know how to.
It's all right. You've been drinking a little much for this early in the morning.
Whoa! Whoa! You hear a few people yelling outside. It seems like the horses have arrived. Hear just several footsteps. It's kind of hard to differentiate how many people, but quite a few people seem like they're moving towards the bar. Elizabeth, you do hear them riding into town. Seems a little odd.
I hear them, and I'm gonna kind of peek over my fence and watch them go by.
Okay, they ride on by more further into town towards the bar. Once they get into town, Clarity, you can hear them. Your establishment is sort of on the far end of town.
Okay, I'll kind of sashay outside a little bit and just kind of lean up against one of the pillars of my establishment and kind of check out what's rolled into town.
Okay. As you all, as Elizabeth and Clarity, as you two sort of look on, you've seen a lot of big shipments come through here. You've seen a lot of guards come through here. You've seen a lot. This isn't that. No, these are a little more wild. You're not really sure, but they do have a big cart with them. But this is a rowdy crowd. Go ahead and roll wits, both of you. Elizabeth, get a bonus die because they were closer to you than favorable circumstance.
I got double 4s and a 6.
Okay.
I got double 3s and double 6s.
Okay. So Elizabeth, you don't notice anything terribly specific about them. You do notice though that there's no consistent uniform among them. Their weapons aren't super consistent, and they're not wearing any regalia, badges, anything that the usual guard types would have. Clarity, from across the way, you notice something just a little odd. One of them has a patch on their duster that looks like a coin with a bullet hole through it. You recognize this one. You've had to throw a few of these boys out of your establishment a few times for being a little rowdy. They're part of the coin killer gang.
Okay, I'm going to kind of just casually turn my back, and once I'm inside, I'm gonna go find my girls. Coin killers are back. You be careful. You don't do anything you don't want to. I'll make sure. I'm gonna head over to Jeremiah's place and see if there's any muscle that might help us in case they get a little too rowdy.
Oh yes, ma'am. We'll be careful now. And as you leave, you hear, Grace! She put me in charge and she said be careful. There's a bit of bickering back and forth between some of the ladies. You move over. As you're moving towards Jeremiah's establishment, you do notice that that's kind of where they're headed as well. You'll get there just after they get all in the bar. Elizabeth, you want to do anything before they reach the bar?
I probably would walk around my fence and kind of slowly meander towards the bar, like, what is going on here?
Okay. Quite a bit of ruckus begins as they all sort of like they're punching each other's shoulders, like just laughing away. One of them breaks into the bar. Well, now we need us some shots. We need your finest whiskey. We are having just one hell of a day. Ruin be damned. We're gonna make this a great day. It's gonna be celebrated now.
Jeremiah, there goes your door.
4 or 5 people
There
just
goes
suddenly
the
enter
door.
into your bar.
I just fixed it. God damn it. Alrighty, boys. Feel free to have a seat and celebrate your day. I'll bring the whiskey, but if you get a little too rowdy, you'll have me to answer. You understand?
Okay, bartender, whatever you say.
And I'll bring you the whiskey. How many of you are there?
Yeah, there's 5 of us right now. The other ones are sitting out with our cart.
Well, I'll bring you the 5 for each of you. And would you like the bottle or just the shots?
Oh, well, you might as well begin to lead a bottle here.
Alrighty. I expect payment up front, and I'll go get that bottle.
Sure. Payment up front, of course.
Can I ask a technical question?
Go for it.
I have a danger sense as a specialty. I don't know how that works, but I just thought I'd bring that up as potentially relevant under the circumstances.
Yeah. So, go ahead and roll wits. Add a bonus die for the danger sense.
If you
It
said
helps when I unmute. Double fives. That's it.
What'd you get? Sorry.
Double fives.
Double fives. You guys are having some solid rolls tonight. Uh, yeah. No, there's some tension in the air. You notice that all of their holsters are unclipped. Um, there's a lot of bullet holes in their dusters. This is a crowd that gets things done a very particular way. And since you've been in Last Stand, you haven't seen this group come through. They're not regulars, and you may have heard of them before, but not nothing real specific.
I'm gonna kind of try to ease myself closer to an exit.
I also have a
Okay.
technical question.
Go for it.
I have the blind sight sense, and when you use like these stunts, do they go away after a certain amount of time, or like
No, so you can use your blind sight while you're flaring your tin.
how do you flare your tin?
So we can say that you started the day with 3 charges. So for the next like 10 minutes, if you want to flare your tin, you'll burn through all your charges, but you'll have blind sense. You'll know where everybody is. You'll know what's going on.
But after 10 minutes, that'll go away.
Right, but you have part of your props was misting vials. Should be on your sheet.
Violet tin, yeah.
You have 3 of them, and each one has 3 charges in it of tin.
Okay.
So you have quite a few. This is a resource that you have a fair amount of.
Okay. So I would actually like to use my blind sense to see if they were telling me the truth about who's outside. If I can do that.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll wits, but add your tin rating to it.
So
So what number is your wits?
So my wit is 4.
Okay, what's your tin rating?
5.
Roll 9 dice.
Ooh. Now you were telling me something about defense. Was that something that I should be doing now or no?
Now, not really, I mean, unless you're expecting something. But since this is all just kind of sensory, it doesn't really make sense for defense to necessarily.
Yeah.
Be a
So
thing.
let's see. That's 2 6s, 1 5, a 4, a 3, 2 2s, and 2 1s.
Okay, so your highest double is double 2s.
My
But
highest double is 6 then.
6s are nudges. They add to what your roll is. They don't actually count as doubles.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you got double 2s, and then how many 6s did you get?
2.
2. Okay. So you sort of, as you're pouring drinks, you flare your tin. You feel that burn in your stomach as that tin that you drank down earlier sort of ignites, and you decide to go a little heavy on it. And as you sort of send a little sonar pulse out from you, you kind of count the people in the bar. And outside, there's about 8 people, maybe more in the cart. You're not sure, but they have a pretty large carriage with them.
Okay. So as I get to the back of the bar, I'm gonna direct my comments to Silver and Miss Jonas, and I'm gonna say, you know what, I got some new customers today. Let me. Why don't you clear this space for them so I can serve them best here at the bar? And I pull out like a big bottle of a fancy looking whiskey, and I start pulling out 10 cups, and I just started laying them all out in front of my bar, in front of chairs. And I position myself behind the bar where I know I keep my shotgun.
Okay, all right.
Gentlemen, I want to show you the proper hospitality of the Last Stand here. Why don't you come up to the bar so I can best take care of you? I got my finest bottle of whiskey here and all my nicest shots of tin glass.
Barman, we knew you were a good time. And they get up and they walk forward. They grab the cups as they're already whiskey in them.
As soon as they sit down,
Yeah.
as they sit down, I'll pour their whiskey in front of them, and
Okay,
I'll keep
so
the bottle with the cork off of it.
Gotcha. So the five that walk in all sit down. And they wait for you to pour.
Fine gentlemen like you got to drink the finest whiskey last stand. This is my nicest bottle. I just got it a couple weeks ago. I've been saving it for a special occasion.
Oh, this is definitely a special occasion.
Well, I'm not sure what makes it so special, but I'm here to help you celebrate. And I start pouring a couple more shots for all of them.
Hey, Andrew. No, it's a good day. Me and the boys, we just came into a little bit of money is all.
Money's good, especially for a saloon keep like me. Go ahead and spend it as freely as you like.
Well, we'll have to process it first. See, one of our lads owns a mine just outside of town, and well, we struck that silver gold.
Silver
Aluminum.
gold. Silver gold. Everybody keeps talking about this aluminum. Well, I hope you've got processed dinero for me here.
We've got some money on us. Don't worry.
Well, you tell me when to stop pouring them drinks because there's no limit here at the Tin Cup.
One of them reaches down into their pocket and they pull out a few coins, set them down.
You look like you were good for it anyways. I didn't doubt you for a second.
Of course not. They kind of drink in. Few minutes goes by. Clarity, you arrive. Elizabeth, you're here. You see the 8 people outside and the large, very nice carriage.
Elizabeth, how are you this morning?
Doing just fine, Clarity. How you and your girls doing over there?
I think we'll do all right. You wouldn't mind stopping by, providing a little muscle later, would you?
Gonna hitch my rifle up over my shoulder. Of course not. Anything you need, all you need to do is ask.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, dear.
Now,
looking at the cart, like if I know this gang, like, is this anything this gang would have?
Make a wits check.
Okay. And because
are you storing right now, by the way?
Yeah. So because I'm storing, it's however many charges I'm trying to store, I subtract that number of dice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It was the morning, so I think I was only storing 1, but that definitely makes it more difficult. It's a 4 and a 6, so.
Okay. No, but people get money all the time and buy nice things.
Fair. And there's like 8 people outside stand by this cart.
Yeah, as you look into the carriage, though, there's something moving in the carriage as well.
Okay. Well, boys, you have a good time here at Mr. Hudson's establishment, but when you're feeling you need a little bit of recuperation, you come on over to the bustle, and then I'm gonna kind of saunter into the Jeremiah's place and kind of look around inside.
Okay. You look around inside. You see Jed and his boys. They look a little nervous. You see Sarah. Sitting. She's moved. She's closer to the door. You don't see her at first, but as you sort of look over, you see them kind of sitting there. And then as you turn, you do see Jeremiah pouring quite a few drinks for some loud gentlemen at the bar, punching each other and laughing, and you ruin, son of ruin, you just cutting up laughing.
I'm going to kind of sashay over to Sarah. Hey there, you tall drink of water. I know you got that big sword. Has Jeremiah already employed your services for the day?
Oh, he was mad at me because of the door. So I don't know that he's going to
Hmm.
hire me. But
Very good.
no one's never
Well,
called me a drink of water before. So thank you for that. I don't know what to make of these men here. You?
yeah, I tend to do know what to make of these men, and I might need a little help later. You wouldn't mind coming by the bustle, would you, and providing a little bit of security for me and my girls?
I got no problem with that. No problem. I'll give
Oh,
you a discount because these men, they ain't no good and they ain't going to be no good to your girls.
you are a dear. Thank you so much.
I'm a dear tall glass of water. Well, thank you. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Oh, okay. What time do you need me?
Well, if you start to see some more of these men come over to my place, if you wouldn't mind following them or beating them to the punch, I think that I'd rather there be a presence before they arrive than after.
I got you. I see them start to move out of this bar. I'll head right on over to your place.
I do appreciate it, dear.
Dear. Oh, what was that dear? All right. Cool. Well, thank you kindly, hunted dear, for that.
Oh,
I'll see you soon.
oh, you're too kind. Jeremiah!
Well, Modesta, what brings you here to my saloon?
One of them looks back and sees you. Well, now, lads, we are surely being blessed here today. Harmony is with us, I tell you what. Why don't you come over and sit with us, lady?
Now, you don't
Whip
know
out.
Modesta all too well, but she don't take orders from no one around these parts.
Oh, no. It's a request, of course.
You be nice to her. You
Ladies
hear?
can do whatever they like. I just have a feeling that this lady likes money.
Whip out my fan. Oh, dear, I do. Kind of sashay up to the bar and just put a little finger on his shoulder. Now, Jeremiah, you're serving these men the good whiskey?
That's exactly what I told him.
Ooh.
So it's one of his direct answers right there.
I see. You wouldn't mind, well, you gentlemen, when you get tired of Jeremiah's dour company, you come on over to my place, but I don't want all y'all arriving. There's down too many of you. Just a few at a time, if you please.
We'll see what we can do to accommodate such a upstanding woman.
Now, I'm sure
You
you
see that
fine
you
gentlemen
do.
won't be opposed to sharing a little bit of your whiskey here with a lovely Modesta here.
Of course not.
I'm going to start pouring her a drink from their bottle. There you go, Modesta, courtesy of these fine boys here.
Oh, thank you, dear. And kind of whip my fan up, and then I'm just gonna do the like over the shoulder thing. With the fan
Just like
covering
the
it.
whole rest of the bar sees, just like, because
They
they're
don't
standing
notice.
behind you.
That does just go straight to my head. Put it down. All right, dear. Well, you be careful, and I'll kind of just put my fan underneath the chin of one of them and kind of like turn around and then kind of sashay back out of the bar.
They all watch you leave. Or yeah, I'll let you go to your seat. Jeremiah, you hear one of them say, I'm gonna go straight to them hips later, I tell you what. And you punch his shoulder. And I'll sort of start laughing.
Those hips are a little bit more expensive than I'm sure you've got, but her establishment there's got plenty of ladies for you.
That's what we'd like to hear. We might make ourselves a little home here in Last Stand for a bit before we move on.
Last Stand don't have much, but it's got what we need.
Ain't that the truth? He raises his glass and drinks deeply. they continue on like this for a little while. Probably the next 20, 30 minutes. Does anybody else want to do anything in that time?
I'm just working the stink eye. Just
Sure.
working that. Yeah, just
So 30 minutes, they've maybe gotten towards the bottom of the bottle.
Oh yeah, and the coin they've left on the counter does not cover the whole cost of the bottle.
Now, gentlemen, this this bottle, like I said, it was a real fine bottle of whiskey. My top shelf, as you can see, it's now empty. This coin here is coming a little short.
I sort of look, and you can tell they probably haven't eaten today at all, because they are all just a little wobbly after several drinks. Well, would you look at that? I believe it is. Well, you're gonna have to forgive us. We gotta liquidate some of our new find, and then we'll come back and we'll settle up with you. How about that?
Well, I'm a fair man, but there's a little something called collateral that you may want to leave here. I'll take anything worth the value.
Hear that, boys? He wants us to leave something behind. And all five of them just start laughing. I think we can accommodate you leaving something behind. And he pulls a coin out of his pocket. And at this point, Sarah, your general feel starts going nuts.
Oh yeah.
Something's wrong.
Yeah. I'm standing up and like cracking my knuckles and like getting my hand on the hilt of my sword and just heading toward the door to try to block it off.
He says, I think this'll cover it. And he moves the coin in front of him and breathes. And as he does, the coin shoots out towards you. What is your physique?
My physique is 2.
Okay.
I don't think that's good.
Go ahead and roll physique, but add half your 10. So add an additional 3.
3? All right. 1, 2.
Since you've been flaring it, you're a little more perceptive.
That is 2 4s, a 6, and 2 1s.
Okay. So, the coin strikes your shoulder, and you do take a point of damage.
Where do I keep track of that? I just...
your health.
There it is.
So
okay,
whatever
damage.
your health is, yeah.
Damage 1. I got it. Awesome. I know what I'm doing.
It's a new system. We're going to learn. It's fine. You two take that point of damage, and then the rest of them start laughing. And the 4 of them turn around, and 2 of them pull pistols. The other 2 pull out a few coins they hold up in between their fingers. And the boss says, now we can leave behind a whole lot of collateral if you so choose. That collateral is going to be a message that you either trust us or we're just going to send a few more of these coins flying through your nice establishment here.
Here's the thing, boys. When you walked in, I told you I wasn't looking for any trouble, and here you brought it. And I don't know what kind of actions that I can do, but I'm going to pull out my shotgun and I'm going to just point blank shoot the guy who got the little coin and shot it at me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to duck under the bar afterwards.
I'd love to chop one of these guys' heads off. And just...
Okay. Okay. We're going to shift into a conflict.
Y'all didn't even let me get into the bar and make a cool action to protect you. Fine, handle it yourself.
There's plenty of ragamuffins outside.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 20 minutes. If you've wanted to have moved in the bar, you totally can.
Oh, no, it was one of those, like, I was hanging out watching, like, listening in at the door
Gotcha.
for that perfect moment.
What kind of Western does not start with a bar brawl? I have literally never played one that does not start with a bar brawl.
You two got this. It's fine. I got 8 people outside I can handle.
It's on theme. It's fine. Okay, so, everybody, who has a wits of 10?
Wits of 10?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go in order, so we'll declare actions as that happens.
Nope.
9,
Mm-mm.
8,
Mm-mm.
7,
Mm.
6, 5, 4.
Hey.
Hey, okay, here we go. Okay, so the 4 of you declare your actions. You can go in whatever order you. I'm actually sorry. We're supposed to do this in the opposite order. So wits of 1, wits of 2. Who has wits of 2? 3. Aha! All right, Clarity. You declare your action first.
Okay. Am I there?
Did you stay in the bar at all, or did you leave?
No, I think I left.
Oh, that was my mistake. Okay, so I mean, you definitely hear a commotion.
Okay.
They're pretty loud. So okay, if you want to act, you can jump in. So the 4s, which is everybody else. What? So your action, Jeremiah, is you're gonna pull your gun and let one fire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is a. Let's see. That is a wits roll. So you're gonna get your 4 dice.
4 dice.
They're not expecting you to do this. So you're gonna get a 5th one as well.
Oh, yes. That's not my accent. Hold on.
So you don't roll them yet.
Okay, all right.
We all kind of declare, and then we'll go through rolling.
Oh, I did do declare.
So, Sarah, you're pulling your sword and you're taking an aim at somebody's head.
Yeah, my face is just gonna go perfectly blank, like that sort of smirk is gone, and yeah, just slide it right on through. My big giant blade that's almost as tall as like me minus a foot, maybe, so almost as tall as everyone else, with serrated edges and strange symbols sort of etched around it, and just as smooth as I can make it.
Are you gonna multi-attack to try to like move in and attack all 5 of them?
Oh no, I would like to impress them with what happens to their friend.
Okay, so you're just going for the one. Which
the
one are
one.
you going for?
Whatever one is closest to me. It was because
Okay.
it was just the leader who was making all the comments.
Maybe the one holding
Charity.
all the coins, maybe.
Yeah, no, so it's the leader in the center, or the guy that threw a coin through Jeremiah in the center. The 2 other ones next to him immediately have the coins in their fingers, and then the 2 on the outsides pull pistols.
Right.
The closest one to you would be one of the ones with the pistols.
Right. Who made the nasty comment about Charity?
One of the ones with the coins.
Okay, cool. I'm going for
right.
that specific one.
Okay, so you're gonna go kind of in the center. All right. Abner, since you're in the bar, what would you like to do?
I'm like, I got pushed down to the end of the bar, which was pretty rude in the first place, but now they're going to go ahead and ruin my morning. Well, I don't go anywhere without my custom 6-shooter, so I suppose if there's going to be a little bit of an early morning shootout, I'm going to draw that gun, and I'm going to fan that hammer and take a shot at their leader, probably aiming for... Oh, man. Okay, so they're using this dang magic thing, right?
You could surmise that by the way the coin traveled. Yes, you've seen this sort of thing before.
Ruins work. All right. Do I know if shooting a hand is going to put any harm in that, or is it just going to have to be a straight go for the showstopper, as it were?
So you know that most allomantic abilities that you see them using right now, people will make motions and whatnot, but that doesn't usually matter.
Gotcha. Showstopper. Got it. I'm just going to go for a shot on him. And out of curiosity, how does using a prop in a scene work?
You just use it. It counts as a tool, so it'll give you a bonus.
Ah, I see. So later turns. Okay, so later turns I can use it if I.
Jeremiah, that will also give you a +1 die to since you're using your shotgun. And then we forgot to say, Sarah, for yours, you're rolling physique, And this is a physical test, so you get your +2 from your Colos Blooded. So however many dice that is, which is probably several.
So drawing that gun, I will shoot it, and I will declare, you boys picked the wrong bar to start a fight. Say that much.
All right. Excellent, excellent. And then Elizabeth, what would you like to do?
So, as I see this whole coin thing going on in the bar, I would have probably walked around the corner of the bar
Mhm.
and from around the corner tried to take aim. Now, are they driving this carriage?
There is a spot on the carriage for a driver to sit. No one's sitting on it right now, though.
But they've got like horses or something attached to the carriage, right?
Yeah. There's two
Could I
attached
maybe
to the
take
carriage.
like as I'm peeking around back around the corner, like try to take a pot shot at the horse's rump to either scare it off or make it useless?
Sure. I'm gonna call that a called shot. So it's gonna need 2 nudges to be successful.
Okay, that's totally fair. Which attribute thing do you want
Wits.
me to? Wits. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. How many dice do you have?
I have four wits,
Okay.
and I got 2 5s, but no 6s.
Oh, you don't roll yet.
Oh, sorry.
Roll. Once we determine. This is just determining whatever
Oh, yeah,
it's
that's
doing.
right. This the
Then
declare
we
an
take all the
action.
actions.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a little different than some of the other
That's
systems.
fine. No, that's fine.
They also all had 4s. They've kind of already declared their thing though. They're trying to cow you, so they're gonna roll some intimidation stuff in a second. They don't actually think y'all are gonna fight.
So the entire room is force.
Yes. It is sort of an odd turn. So they only generate, let's see, they only generate 4 dice for their actions. So I believe Sarah probably has the most dice, right?
Yeah, I'm adding physique and nothing else, right? Just physique?
It's physique and then +2 because of your Colos Blood, because this is a physical.
Yes, it's okay. So
strength.
that would be 9 dice. I'm gonna guess that's the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So your action happens first.
Okay. 2, 2, 3. 2 4s, 2 3s, and 4 6s.
Good God. Okay. So your Kolos sword does 4 base damage. Let's see. They will try. You said your highest double was 4s?
4s, yes.
They actually got 5s to dodge. So they will attempt to move out of your way, but with your nudges and whatnot, you're still going to do a little bit of damage to them. So go ahead and describe what your attack exactly looks like.
Okay, well, I was aiming to just chop off a head, but if they're moving away a little bit, I'm going to try to slit the front of the throat and just at least have some impressive blood spray and try to time it so it doesn't head to Jeremiah.
Sure. So
try to keep
what happens
place.
is you like quickly step in faster than anyone would have suspected, and you swing your sword again expertly. And for the size and heft of it, that alone is terrifying. But these are not gentlemen that are unfamiliar to combat, and as they see you move in, they duck quickly. And as they duck, your attack still grazes across like the side of their head up past their forehead. And there's definitely blood coming down. Well, I see y'all chose the stupid way of doing this. And they are going to start attacking. Who has 8 dice? 7 dice.
For what? 8 dice for?
You've already acted. So
okay.
How many dice? Okay, did you roll all your dice?
Yeah.
For the attack? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So 8, 7, 6.
We didn't establish how many I have.
Oh, okay. You get your wits +2 for your guns.
Cool.
Or gun and your abilities. So how many do you have?
6.
Okay. So Jeremiah, how many do you have?
I had 6, but did that count? Is my blind sight gone now by now?
Yeah, it would have faded by
Okay.
now.
Okay, so I got 6.
Okay. And then Elizabeth, how many do you have?
For my wits, it's 4.
Well, it's wits plus your plus 1 for your gun.
Okay, so 5.
So it's 5. Okay. So Jeremiah, you can go first.
Now this is where I should be saving some, right, for defense?
So yeah, you can. This is your dice essentially for the turn, so you can use as many as you want for your attack, but you also should probably hold some back for like dodging and whatnot.
Well,
Good to know.
I'm gonna use 4 of my
Okay.
6 for this attack. You know what? No, I'm going all 6. Jeremiah ain't messing around here. That gives me 2 5s, 3 1s, and a 3.
Hey, they attempted to dodge and did not go well for them. Did you get any 6s?
No.
What is the damage number on your gun?
What's the damage number on a shotgun? Let's see. I will tell you right now that there is nothing on the rules box. How do I find out?
Okay, let me double check the weapon, and I will let you know what the damage on it is. Let's see. Guns,
And I'll make sure to write it down.
It's okay. I figured we were gonna have just a few hiccups like this at the beginning. Where are the guns? Ah, 210. Of course, it's in like the back of the book. Okay. A shotgun is a base 3 damage.
So to answer your question, that's a 3. 3 base
Okay.
damage from a shotgun.
Okay, so you get a solid shot off into like their upper shoulder as they were already kind of moving away from Sarah's deft attack. So it's and it kind of hits them pretty good. Let's see, Abner.
Well, I'm gonna use 4 of these wits dice to shoot, and see how that goes down from the other end of the bar.
Okay.
I got a 6, but no doubles.
All right, so your shots kind of go wide. You're fanning the hammer, so you're just really making more of a scene than you are really doing damage. But that does cause them to sort of duck the other way. They do the 2 that see you do kind of dodge against you. They don't. It's not necessary, but they do use some of their dice to do that. Okay, Elizabeth, outside. Gunshots have rung out. Everyone starts looking at high alert.
Yep. I'm unless you want me to re-roll, I'm just anticipating I would just keep what I already
That's
rolled
fine.
since I
That's fine.
announced it.
Do you want
I'm not even
to
gonna-
hold any of your dice back for defense?
Can I use my 2 5s for that?
We need to re-roll and just say I'm holding 2 dice back.
Okay, then I will do that real quick.
Okay.
Right. All right. Is there a specific number I have to look for to do that?
You just your highest double.
Oh. Yeah, nope.
No
None.
doubles. All right, so you get your gun out and you go to shoot, but you weren't 100% sure and you just didn't quite get it loaded quick enough. So you're loaded up now. They do see you drawing a gun though, so we'll see how that affects them next turn. Those inside the bar. Let's see. The one on the closest to the door with the pistol is gonna take a shot at you, Sarah. Since you used all your dice for attacking, you don't have anything for defense, but since they tried to defend like crazy, they did not get any doubles. So they're jumpy, and the shot sort of goes wide. The one with the coins.
DM, I have a small question.
Yes, what's up?
as a saloon barkeep, does like stuff like alcohol like influence actions or anything like that? I know that this is a different system, so I don't
I'm
know it at all.
figuring it into them since they were drinking really heavily, but no one else was drinking that heavily. So it is affecting their actions, yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
They have unfavorable circumstances. They're generating less dice than they
Thank you,
should be.
the narrator.
uh, so one of them fires off around, and this one is gonna kind of graze your arm, Sarah. So it's just gonna be 1 point of damage to your health.
I have armor, and it says 1 point of damage. I don't know if that.
Oh,
how that
right.
works.
I forgot about that. Yes. So you don't take any damage. It sort of grazes off, and it's not even enough to really register for you.
So my blank face just kind of goes.
Remains. It's very unnerving.
Mm.
Let's see. The leader is going to turn around towards you, Jeremiah, and he's going to launch another coin and miss terribly. The bullets spray into his shoulder, sort of like moved the coins in his hands, and weren't exactly center, and they sort of 2 or 3 coins shoot wide as you manage to kind of duck away.
I'm just standing there, cocked the shotgun again, staring at him. As
not even moving.
It didn't even like phase
coins
me
just
whatsoever.
Flying past you.
I'm just like staring at him, staring him down.
Love it. Jed and the boys hide behind a table. Let's see. The other one with the coins is going to turn towards you, Abner. And several coins whiz by you. Do you trying to defend it all? Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I've got 2 left, so sure.
You can choose to use them now, or if you think maybe they're in a bad way and they're not going to roll very many dice, you could just choose to let it be as is.
Yeah,
and
let's
save
just
it.
Let's let it ride.
All right. That was a good call because they didn't get any doubles. So, they rolled 5 dice and got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nice. Yahtzee.
Yeah, fortunately meaningless in this game. The last one with the pistol will sort of freak out and be like, "Y'all stop it!" And he tries to intimidate the crowd. Let's see, what is his? Oh, okay, it's not a terrible charm roll. Double 3s. Let's see. So he yells out at all of you. Everybody make a charm roll.
That'll be just our charm number, nothing added,
just
right?
straight charm.
All right.
Do triples count?
Unfortunately, no, they don't add anything extra.
They're pretty looking though.
They are neat.
Don't forget, this isn't Yahtzee.
3 dice, 3 3s. It's just meant. It's a thing.
Okay.
It's
All right.
Yeah.
I got 2 5s and a 2.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Okay.
I got a 1, a 2, and a 3, but no doubles.
Well, you are outside, so you're just hearing this vaguely, so it's not really affecting you much.
Okay.
Abner, you take a point of willpower damage as the threat. Your wide shots going and a lot of actions happening, and maybe this was a little more than you meant to get into. Sarah, unfazed. And Jeremiah, unfazed. These are some hooligans. You're going to handle them like always. All right, and that is the first round. Let's see. So, highest wits. All of you are 4s. The ones outside are 3s, so they will declare first. 4 of them will draw rifles, and they are moving inside. One of them looks over at you, Elizabeth, and says, "Now, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to put that there pea shooter away, or you get into some real trouble now." We'll get that. That's what he anticipates doing. let's see. Then the ones in the bar, they are going to attempt to move behind the bar and catch you, Jeremiah. You can see them like starting to set up to like vault over the bar or like run around the sides, or that's they're looking for cover, you can imagine, but they're also going to try to take a hostage.
That makes it my turn. Yeah, I get to declare.
Between you, Sarah, and Abner, you can sort of choose who wants to declare. Probably Abner will go last since he took the willpower loss. So between you and Sarah.
Well,
Go for it, Jeremiah.
while they're busy trying to jump over my bar, I'm gonna say, I told you I don't deal well with trouble, and this is my bar, and you don't just get to jump over onto my side. And I'm gonna shoot another shotgun blast at one of them that's preoccupied jumping over the bar. Probably the one who first started jumping over.
Okay. So wits.
But
Okay,
can I flare more tin, or did I already like use it all up?
You burned through your reserve, so you need to take another quick shot, but you can do that as part of your action. You can take a shot and.
So after I have my little monologue, I take another shot of whiskey, and then I cock my shotgun and I blast that guy.
Okay. All right. So that'll be your wits +1 for favorable circumstances, and then +1 for your gun.
Wits is 4 +1 so that's 6 total. And anyways, I started blasting. And I am not reserving any again. I'm gonna use them all.
Okay, we'll get to your
for when I'm ready to
second.
roll.
Yeah. Sarah?
Well, that head is coming off. Just off. I'm taking 2. I'm so sorry, Jeremiah, because now they're on your bar, so I'm probably not going to be able to keep it clean, but that head's coming off.
Okay, all right. So you're going to generate your 10 actually for favorable circumstance because they're kind of like disengaging, not paying a lot of attention to you. So you get 10 dice.
All those dice are getting used. Every single one.
Abner, what are you doing?
I was wondering if I could rush up to the side of the bar and use my physique to pull him down off of the bar top.
Sure.
And try and chuck him to the floor for a better shot next turn.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. What's your physique score?
Better than my wits, that's for sure. It's 5.
Okay, cool. And then add 1 for the favorable circumstances that you have.
Cool.
So you're getting 6.
Would I be able to use my dog to help me with that?
I forgot about your wolfhound again. You can make a command towards it, but you can either have your dog, your wolfhound do something, give a command, and then it will start doing that next turn, or you can take your action and then command it next turn. It's kind of an either or thing. Once you give it a command, though, it will start doing that. It's sort of waiting for you.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, Elizabeth.
Okay, so he has tried to placate me.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to, when I actually roll, kind of just shrug and shoot at him instead, since my weapon's already ready, and I would use my at that point reaction to reload.
Okay. So yeah, you generate your wits and then get 1 for the gun and then 1 for favorable circumstance.
Perfect.
Since he's expecting you to relax, since there's 8 people outside.
Yep.
All right, and then Clarity. You have heard a whole lot of gunfire. Do you want to do anything a bit more specific?
I think I'd like to. So, remind me, how do the like standings things work? Like, how would I use influence?
So influence can be used. You're calling in favors. You're using your social clout to some kind of end. whether it's you send a telegraph message to a nearby town for a governor that you have serviced in the past, that sort of owes you a few favors, or maybe it's you have some friends. There's another like establishment that you've made friends with, and you have kind of a network of information, things like that.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm going to kind of peek my head out of the establishment and just see chaos starting to rain down on Jeremiah's place, and I see Elizabeth standing her ground like she does. And if I can, I'd like to just give like a big wolf whistle, and just if I can attract any of the attention of the gentleman, just kind of do like and just try and distract them.
Okay.
And
all right.
try and give her a chance to, I don't know, get a better shot or do something.
So it's going to be charm.
Okay.
And then definitely a favorable circumstance for sure.
So I think because I'm currently storing, I lose 1 die to charm, right?
No, that's just wits.
It's just wits. Sweet.
Yeah.
And then favorable circumstances. So I get how many extra?
Just 1.
Just 1. Okay. Cool.
So how many dice is that?
Don't roll
5.
yet.
Don't roll yet.
Yes.
You roll. We go. Okay. Excellent. All right. So, no questions. Sarah, you go first. How many dice are you committing to this lopping?
I want to use all 10. I'm big. I'm strong. Whatever. They can try to go
all
out there.
or nothing.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay. That's 3 5s. That's 2 3s. That's 3 2s. So 5s. 5s are my biggest. No 6s though. So it's gonna be just a thing. But
sure,
I got some 5s.
Okay. Nope. All right. So you hit. And you hit hard. The head doesn't come off, but you knock this person significantly out of the way. And what did he roll? He rolled a 3. He's not going to be able to maintain his balance. The other one. So when you just slam him with your sword, it's a little duller than maybe you've kept it, so it doesn't quite cleave in. It does catch your as it knocks him, and it knocks him into the next one over and into the wall. And they just baseball swing, home run 2 of them into the wall of the bar.
And as I do it, can I just do a flavor thing? Just a little.
Sure.
Be polite to ladies.
I absolutely love this. All right, so that is your turn. I believe anybody with 8, 7, 6. All right, Jeremiah.
6 dice, yeah?
Sorry, I have 6 too.
Gotcha, okay, you'll be next.
I got 2 4s, a 5, a 6, a 2, and a 1.
Okay. So 4s. All right. They have an unfavorable circumstance.
Wait, did I? Yeah, that was
wall.
5.
Okay. So, you hit the leader again. And as you shoot as he's jumping, and he manages to get high enough to where you miss his body, but you hit the arm that he was bracing against the bar on, and it buckles and he sort of falls on top of the bar. Ruin. Take you. He is greatly displeased as he takes 3 damage to his elbow. Did you put all your dice into that, or do you still have some?
I sure did. All 6 dice, narrator.
Sarah, the all or nothing crew. I love it.
That's the spirit.
Elizabeth, do you want? So you see Clarity come out Do you want to hold for Clarity's action to happen?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold if I can do that.
Okay, yeah, you can. So that's now we're moving on to 5 dice.
I had 6 as well.
Oh, I'm sorry, Abner. All
You're
right,
good.
go ahead.
So the leader's on the bar top, huh?
Get, like prone on the bar top. There's still the 2 that were furthest from you have been ricocheted into the wall, and are like one of them is like making this horrific hacking noise, and the other one's just like, "Oh, you get off me!" and like trying to shove the other guy off of him. The leader has planted onto the bar due to a shotgun blast through his good old arm tendons, and there's the other 2 that are trying. One is trying to go around the side of the bar, and one is trying to jump over it. So you could easily grab after either one of those 2.
I'll go for the one trying to go around the side of the bar, keep him from getting to Jeremiah from behind.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and roll all 6 because I just want to feel like I'm part of the action as well.
The wrecking ball crew.
That would be a pair of 2s, a pair of deuces, as it were.
Okay, well, they got nothing. So they're inebriated, and physicality is not their strong suit. So they're only rolling 2 dice at the moment. So they got a 4 and a 6.
Grab him by the scruff of his jacket or whatever, and just kind of pull back and throw him down. And
whoa!
Got my pistol ready.
Back.
And would I be able to look to Pike and say, "Fetch," and point at him?
Sure. We'll see how well Pike handles that next turn. So the wolfhound snarls and is getting ready to go. Clarity, I do declare.
Yeah, I'm going to just come out and just give the 2-finger whistle, which I can't do, and I won't subject our listeners to. As soon as I catch a couple eyes, I'm just gonna kind of like do like the kind of wink and just kind of a little press up and together, and just kind of like point the fan at one of them and do like a come here movement. And try and garner a little bit of attention.
Okay. I assume this is going to be like kind of versus their willpower, because you're trying to persuade. All right, we're gonna roll.
All right, that's not too bad.
Sorry, I have to roll for 8 people real quick. That is all of them. So what was your roll?
I got a pair of 3s and a 6.
Okay, so 6 of them kind of stop. They'll sort of look around, and they haven't heard any more gunshots. So like, oh man, maybe the boss has it covered. Maybe we can get to work. You know, I heard some yells. It's probably fine. One of them is like, "You morons, get in that bar!" He's yelling at them, and one of them is a little unsure, but they keep their gun at the ready. A lot of them took some willpower damage from your enticing offer. So that brings us to Elizabeth.
All right, so I see that these 6 of the 8, you said, right? We're outside.
Mm-hmm.
Turn and face Clarity.
Including the one that was talking to you, because he was, he's, you don't want to do that. And
okay,
got
perfect.
Very distracted.
That was going to be my question, was he one of the ones that turned? Yeah, he turned his mistake. I don't care about shooting people in the back. I'm going to roll all 6 of my dice.
All right, wrecking ball crew.
Okay, so I got 2 6s. and 4 threes.
Okay, so a pair of threes and 2 nudges. All right. He is heavily distracted and was already heavily committing to that charm roll. That was his defense. Oh god. Nope. Nope. Is this a called shot or is this a
Yeah, sure, we'll call it a called shot.
where you calling?
I'm calling right at the base of his neck where his spine meets his shoulders.
Okay, so usually that's a 3 nudges, but since you are a sharpshooter, that's gonna be 2, which you got, and he failed any sort of defense roll he had. So as soon as he turns, you raise that gun, and you, with your years of training, his neck becomes a tin can, and you actually end up shooting through his index finger that he has up right into the base of the neck, and he goes ah, and like drops, just drops.
Then as he drops, I'm just gonna say, not loud enough for anybody to hear, but I'm just gonna say, next time don't tell me to put down my gun.
Go ahead, and are you speed reloading, or do you still have shots in the
Yes.
chamber?
Um,
Is your rifle a one-shot rifle?
I didn't actually pick a specific rifle, so for mechanics' sake, what would you like to use?
We'll say you have a carbine that it has a few rounds that it can go through. So
Perfect.
we'll say you have 4 more shots. Or 3 more shots. 3 more shots. Why not? So, okay. The one is still going to try to jump over the bar. Because that's what he was trying to do before. He gets there, but sort of like slips and falls, and he's now below the bar. So he has some cover, but he's definitely not primed and ready to go. All right. At this time, the doors to the carriage fly open. A very large man steps out, about Sarah's size, maybe even a little bit taller. He looks at you, Elizabeth, and says, "Now, ma'am, you should put that down right now." Go ahead and roll charm.
Okay. Just my 3?
Yep.
This is fine, everybody. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. 5, 3, 1.
Take 3 points of willpower damage.
Oof. Okay.
What does that put you at?
1 second. Oh, good. I'm 7 out of 10.
Okay. That's still like terrifying.
Yeah, I'll believe it.
You've seen some of what Sarah can endure. As you look over this person as they're talking to you, you see on their belt where most people would have like a set of pistols, he has a set of shotguns. And the way his musculature is, you're pretty sure he uses them one-handed. I haven't seen the F card before. And he like snaps his fingers, and the snaps are more like poof, poof, poof. And all of his boys suddenly focus back up. And he says, "Don't let her do anything rash." And they all like raise guns at you. And then he walks into the bar. Right as the guy like slips and falls onto his face. And all this happens. And he walks in and he sees you, Sarah. And he's wearing like a nice bowler hat, well trimmed. And he tips it towards you. Says, "Of the blood, it is nice to see one of my kind in these parts. Everyone needs to just take a moment and calm down." And as he begins talking, you all feel sort of something come over you. Roll wits or charm, whichever one you want. Everybody, except for clarity.
Oof. Do I
You said
see this
everybody
tall
roll
drink
for
of water
charm. Does
come
that
out?
include me?
Oh yeah, you saw this person. Not you,
Okay.
Elizabeth. He's already interacted with you a little bit.
Pair of ones.
Oof.
I got a pair of ones, a 6, and a 2.
Okay. He got a pair of fives. You all feel an energy sort of move through the room. Sarah, this wasn't a rageful fight. This was confidence. You feel that wane quite a bit. This is a whole new element. You're suddenly not very sure what's going on. Maybe this isn't the best. Jeremiah, this was also sort of a determination, confidence thing for you, right? I would say kind of similar. This is this is a card you didn't see in the deck. This might need some reconsideration. Abner, what was the strongest emotion you were feeling?
I'm gonna go ahead and say irritation.
You're suddenly much more chill. Maybe this isn't really that big of a deal. And Jed and his kids also, like, they kind of stand up and they put the table back up and they just sort of sit down, like, and they seem very relaxed all of a sudden. Excellent, excellent. Now that we're all a little more even-headed, why don't you explain to me what happened? And he's looking at who you thought was the leader before. And he kind of like gets up and he's like holding his arm that's just bleeding and bleeding. And his other shoulder, which is also just like his duster is just stained dark maroon. Boss, we just, you told us to get a drink and size him up, and we told him that this was, we were gonna he just cannot seem to get out the words, and he holds up a hand and he looks at you, Jeremiah. Says, you're standing behind the bar. Do tell me what happened here.
As you can see, I had your constituents here at the bar, and I do quite say I was treating them very well. Finest bottle of whiskey, my nicest talk, and your friends here decided to stiff us on the bill. Instead, they decided to pay us in violence, and my friends here and I were giving them the change.
I see.
I started I just set my shotgun on the table or on the bar, but my hand's still on it.
Sure. Yes, my boys can be a little uncivilized. I do apologize for that. And he moves towards the bar. And there's still one cup that didn't get like knocked over or sprayed across the bar as Sarah knocked people home run style against the wall. And he picks it up. Cheers. He drinks it. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out like a fat sack of coins. More than pays for the bottle, more than covers the damage you'd assume. Sets it on the bar. For your trouble.
I slide the shotgun back under the bar and I hook it on the hooks that I keep it on. And instead I pull out a couple of rags and I grab the bag of coins and I say, you see? No, this is the kind of customer I was looking for.
As you put your shotgun back, with speed faster than you even just saw Sarah move, he reaches down, picks up one of his shotgun, puts it to the head of the leader that had been insulting you, and pulls the trigger. And just splatters him across the floor.
I look over at it and I look at the mess and I just go, well, it looks like you did pay for my cleaning services as well.
And with his other hand, he snaps, and Elizabeth, two of the people from outside move in, and he says, without breaking eye contact with you, Jeremiah, he says, clean this up. He takes the shotgun and tosses it, catches it, cocks it. The shells pop out. With his other hand, he quickly reloads it and then puts it back in the holster on his side. I hope you understand that we plan on staying here a while as we sort of move on from our latest business venture, and we would like a calm arrangement with the people around here. I do apologize for the way you might have been treated, but it's going to be a little different around here from now on.
If your constituents here have the manners that you have shown me now, then there's not going to be any trouble at all.
Wonderful. And he sort of turns to everybody else and holds his arm out wide. And he says, now, last I recall, Last Stand has not had any sort of mayoral body for quite some time, probably since its founding. I think that's about to change. Some proper representation. Maybe bring a railroad through town. There's a lot we can do if you all will have me. And he kind of smiles this large, very toothy grin that is both like kind and terrifying, as most of his teeth are bigger than your thumbs. The Jed and his sons are like, yeah, Pa, that wouldn't that be good? And he just sort of like nods and says, I think the boys have the right idea. We'll come back. We have to drop some things off, but we'll return in a bit, and let's make our greeting then just a little more hospitable. He just sort of smiles. And then he walks out the door. And the people that are left, they pick up the guy that Sarah hit and sort of he's still coughing, like just barely getting any breathing going. And they load up back on their horses in the wagon and they ride out of town. And this is where we're going to take our break. Thanks everybody for watching so far. We're going to take a quick break to bathroom and whatnot, and then we will be back. And we're back. Everybody welcome. We're going to see how the gang handles what's befallen Last Stand. So as he moves out of the bar, his men mount up on horses. One of them gets up on the carriage, and they ride south out of town. Not really sure where exactly they're headed. They didn't really say, but they did make it clear that they will be back. So they did clean up both the body and most of the goo before they
were
left.
like mopping.
Well, it's most of it. It wasn't the most efficient cleaning. They more like used his duster to like scoop.
Well, I did. That sucks. Okay, because I had taken some tin. I guess with my blind sight, could I tell that Elizabeth and Clarity are outside?
You know that Elizabeth is outside. Clarity's her establishment, the bustle, is a little further away than your blind sight can tell.
Okay. So after they're gone, actually, I'm just gonna grab some towels here and then start cleaning up the mess I didn't pick up.
Jed like immediately gets up with his boys and they say, Jeremiah, and like just book it out of the bar.
After they're like, I didn't get a chance to respond, but I'm sure as the bar doors are swinging, pleasure to have you.
Can I have a towel here too? I got to clean off my sword. I need to.
Here you go. Help yourself.
Thank you.
I appreciate your help today.
Well, they needed some talking to, if you know what I mean. And she waves her sword a little bit.
They sure did.
They do. Do I have like a thing to use to sharpen my blade like on me?
Sure.
I don't actually know what that's called?
A whetstone?
Whetstone! All right, I'm going to start using my whetstone in the back corner.
Sure.
I don't know how long it takes me to clean up, but afterwards I'll go behind the bar and I'll grab another bottle of whiskey, and I'll grab three glasses, big glasses, not just shot glasses, and I'll pick up one of the tables and I grab a chair and sit down with the glasses in front of me and the bottle of whiskey, pop open the cork, and I pour all three, and I say, Silver, I think I'm gonna need that order of shotgun shells a lot sooner than I thought.
Yeah, I've been hanging up my gun in my holster and just sitting at one of the tables and intently staring at you doing your work. And absent-mindedly, I've been fiddling with bullets after everybody had left. And yeah, Jeremiah, I hear you. In fact, I feel like I'm gonna need to think up something to take care of that smooth talking mountain of a man that just walked through here. I don't know about y'all, but I don't think we need no mayor around here, do you?
I don't think a mayor with I think a mayor who can keep the trouble under wraps I wouldn't be too upset about.
This looked like keeping the trouble under wraps to you?
Trouble started before he got here.
But they were his people.
They rolled into town with him.
I knew
As
that
you
train
all
was
are-
gonna. I knew that shipment of aluminum was gonna cause us trouble.
Yeah,
As
you
you
think he's
all
going to
are-
just let you have that?
As you all are chatting, Clarity and Elizabeth, you two see a sort of a fairly portly gentleman who wears like a nice like vest and whatnot that kind of doesn't fully cover the belly, so like the little tails sort of stick out a little bit. Sort of waddle on over, just he looks a little scared, kind of looking around. Oh, Miss Lisbeth, good to see you. He pushes his way into the bar. Jeremiah, what was that? This is a Joe. Joe is, by rumor that he likes to spread, the great grandson, as he says, and there's always a different amount of greats, of One-Eyed Joe, supposedly the founder of Last Stand. He sort of functions as a business liaison in town. Usually, when a train will make its delivery out to the last stop, he will make certain enticements for people to come up and sell some goods up here. And so he's generally respected in the community. So people tolerate his sort of nonsense stories.
What was his name again?
Joe.
Joe. Well, Joe, and I take a swig of my whiskey. That was trouble.
Juan, I cannot hear you. Did I?
Can
Oh,
anybody
no,
else?
that was me. That was on my end. My bad.
Okay.
Continue.
Well, Joe, that was trouble.
I reckon there were quite a few bullets sprayed on through here.
More than just bullets, Joe. And I take a quick glance at my shoulder.
Oh my. I can see about finding a doctor.
I'd be much obliged.
It'd probably take a few days to get here.
My girls are quite good with the needle now, Jeremiah.
You've made your way into the bar, I assume.
Sure.
As I saw Clarity walk into the bar, I'm gonna just get up without really saying anything and get up and go grab another glass and set it on the table as well.
Can I say that after Clarity had walked in, I walked in a little slower, and I opened up the doors just enough for my duster to blow in the wind. And then I'll go walk up to the table where Jeremiah's sitting and I'll take one of his glasses and drink it.
Sure.
Elizabeth, you don't need a cup, and I'll just slide over the bottle of whiskey itself.
Jeremiah, darling, you know me too well.
Was that your gun I heard out there?
Oh, you know it.
They give you too
Who
much
else
trouble
would it
out
be?
there? I sensed quite a few out there.
There's only 8 of them. I mean, how much trouble could they possibly be?
I'm sure you would have been just fine.
I think more than you could have handled, dear. I think you're
Betty,
getting...
darling, now you just hush and leave the ruffians with the guns to me.
Dear, I leave the ruffians to you when you're not outnumbered 8-1.
Well, this is quite a lot of worry y'all are espousing in this here fine establishment. What,
Joe.
Yes.
Joe, now
Man,
you've been telling us rumors about this aluminum shipment that's been coming in. Weren't you supposed to meet it?
I was. I made a judgment call when I saw that uh, the people with the carriage were not the hired men that were paid for, and that the carriage had a fair amount of viscera on one of its sides.
And you did not think it was wise to tell us of this?
Well, I was hoping that I was just mistaken, but I do not move as quickly as most of y'all.
My girls say otherwise.
That's a little obvious there, Joe.
Oh, he takes willpower damage. Ow.
So, just to get this straight, you want the mayor with the blood carriage, Jeremiah? The blood carriage mayor.
Mayor?
That's a new factor that's just been brought up to me, Sarah. But I don't know what much we can do against the big boy there.
Well,
Saw that tall fellow come in here. You saying he has declared himself mayor?
He's declared his intent to become mayor for sure.
I feel like he was just declaring himself mayor. I feel like intent was not really mentioned. I don't think there's going to be no election or nothing like that. He's just the mayor, unless you want to stop him.
It's an intent as long as we it's only intent if we let him. If we don't let him, you know.
What, pray tell, are we going to do about 12 gentlemen and a fellow, and he kind of motions towards Sarah, Kolos descended individual?
Joe, there's a lot we can do, but are you offering your services?
Depends on the services you are seeking.
I don't know, y'all. What are we looking for?
To be fair, to cut off the support of something and make it a little more helpless, we usually take off the legs, don't we? So take out his support, and he ain't gonna have a leg to stand on. And that mayor won't be so much self-declared no more.
I get the feeling he could probably kill all of us in this bar without any help.
There's more than one way to hurt a man.
Don't you know it, dear?
Oh, jeez.
They were making their way to a mine. Maybe there's a little trouble we can cause there.
I highly doubt that those gentlemen have any mine. That most definitely was the carriage of aluminum that was supposed to make its way here.
Well, I'm sure I might be able to find something in my little book of someone who might be able to come to our aid, but I do not know how fast they might be able to get here, dears.
Are you suggesting that we fight back?
I mean, you strapping folk might decide to do that, and I think it behooves me to say that me and my girls can't fight so well. Now, causing a ruckus and pulling guns on every bandit that comes into town ain't good for business. Bandits be simple folk. They like to spend money, and sometimes you gotta get a little rough with them. But, I mean, I don't mind having a strong mare so long as he don't take too many privileges.
You mean like a carriage full of aluminum? Would that count as taking a privilege?
My dear, if he shares that aluminum with us, I do not mind one bit.
Who was these individuals? I just saw a glimpse of them, but I did not catch any understanding.
Sounded a little scared there, Joe, for the great, I lose count, grandson of the one-eyed Joe.
Well, one-eyed may know when to make his stand, and I know where to make mine. And in the middle of the road is not where I make my stands. But do we know anything about them?
I'm fairly certain that that was the. And sorry, Goat. What was the name of it again?
Coin killers.
I do believe that was the Coin Killer Gang.
Upon him saying that, Elizabeth, you don't remember just a ton, as you weren't at the building. But what you do remember was that the wounds that you saw, and one of the odd things about it was you didn't find any bullet cases. You just found spare coins everywhere around.
At that, I kind of shake my head, guzzle a little bit of the whiskey, and then slam the bottle down on the table. I say we cut off their legs and remove them from our little civilization we got going on here. That's my vote. And if y'all ain't willing to do it with me, I'll die trying. I don't care. I'm going to just look at each one of you in turn.
Well, Elizabeth, looks like I'll have to close down my shop again.
Now, why would you have to do that there, Jeremiah?
You know full well, Clarity, there's only one employee in this establishment, and it's me. And I go back to behind the bar, and I go look for my sign that has like really bad written close for the day.
Elizabeth, can I talk about this strategy just for a second? I'm just wondering, you said cut off his legs, you mean kill all of his men?
Take out every single one of his support.
Right. What do you think he's going to do after we do that? Just tuck his tail between his legs and wander out of town, or?
I mean, eventually you go for the head, do you know?
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think maybe we need to have a plan for both the head and the legs at the same time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Some way to get him either distracted or outside of the picture, or figure out how we can defeat him too.
I like the way you think.
I may also just want to kill the man.
Y'all are seriously talking about putting up a resistance to this appointed gubernatorial candidate?
Yes.
I do believe so, Joe.
Y'all are going to die.
Now, so Joe, you're telling me that your ancestor, your great, whatever the hell the name they were, wouldn't have put up a little bit of resistance?
There's a reason why we call it the last stand.
Exactly. We're still standing, are we not?
did not make it out of that encounter. Are you trying to convince him, or are you just talking at him?
I personally don't care about convincing him as long as the rest of my crew here is on board with it. But I mean, I'd be willing to make a check just for the sake of game mechanics.
Roll charm. Yeah, roll charm.
All right. Just straight charm?
Add 1 for favorable circumstance. You guys did just kind of save the day, it seems, maybe?
Okay, sorry, I dropped a dice and it smacked Penny on the head on the floor.
Lose a die,
and
unfavorable circumstance. Whoa,
2 5s, 2 1s.
Okay, pair of 5s, excellent. Okay. Now, Miss Lisbeth, you've done right in this town. You've driven off a fair share of ne'er-do-wells. If this is the course y'all are looking to take, I can see just if I can use any of my influence down in the yonder towns. Get some aid. Probably won't be men or good fighting women neither, but maybe some interesting supplies.
Dear, let me give you a few names, and perhaps we can make that some men.
Can always make use of some explosives if you can get any.
I can see what I can provide.
There's a few gentlemen who I think might come riding on a white steed. They hear little old me's in trouble.
Well, we will see what can be done. Come find me whenever you are ready to collude on our contacts. He tips his ill-fitted hat, sort of waddles back out of the bar.
Elizabeth, dear, this is a dangerous course you're putting us on. I do like I like seeing you happy, though. You seem
Let's
got
just
a
say that I
gleam
have
in
a
your
specific bone to pick.
eye. Sure, we're picking many bones, dear.
Clarity, I know you run a fine business. What I can tell you about these boys is they came in to patronize my business here, and the first thing they did was drink all this whiskey and short me on the bill. Now, how do you think they're going to respond when one of your ladies asks for payment?
Jeremiah, I am well aware of the nature of these beasts. I think that Miss Elizabeth's plan is a perfectly fine one. I think that we are going to need some help, but I am not opposed to being rid of these corn killers and, if at all possible, having a little bit of that aluminum for ourselves.
My apologies. It sounded like we were on different pages.
I'm sorry, dear. Sometimes that happens when I'm, just, I get a little bit flight-headed.
Well, I can't blame y'all too much. I think I've been losing quite a bit of blood. If you don't mind, I think I'm gonna take a seat again until one of your ladies can make it over to the saloon here to fix me right up.
Yes, yes. Let me go get Constance. She's quite good with the needle.
Can you get Grace? She's a little bit softer with that needle. Constance is a little rough for my liking.
I'm sure, dear, although you will have a scar. Now, many ladies do like that, but
I I point to the scar on my eye that I've had before, and I'll say, yeah, I'm not looking to keep up too many appearances, Clarity.
oh, fair enough, dear.
Okay, so Clarity, you go and send Grace or Constance or both over.
I'll send Grace.
Okay, so Grace wanders over and arrives to fix you up. Do you go and have a chat with Joe?
Yeah, if I could, that would be great.
Okay.
I will try and use my little black book and just try and find any eligible bachelors or bachelorettes that I know are good with a gun and might be willing to come to the aid of the last stand.
Sure. So go ahead and roll influence. And he's going to roll his resources. Try to, and we'll kind of add together y'all's, whoever has the highest double, and then we'll add together your nudges.
Okay. All right. I got a pair of ones, a pair of threes.
You got a pair of fours. Did you get any sixes?
It did not.
Okay. Well, he got a pair of fours and 3 sixes.
Woo!
So he did pretty well. But your success still does add to it, though. I'm counting those as degrees of success bonus. So you all take about a day or so, unless anyone wants to do anything more specific in between. Yeah, go ahead, Sarah.
Really quick, sorry. So let me explain her thought process really briefly, because not knowing the world well enough, I don't quite know how to put this into something more specific. She doesn't like this guy at all, but she's also feeling a little bit about like a Colos-blooded being in this position and being like we're all gonna go. Yeah, and I don't know how tight knit any of us are, if we're just totally spread out. I don't know if there's any way of finding out who his people are or any other way of trying to.
The Colos-blooded, they tend to just sort of, there's not like a unified society or a group of them. The only thing that comes close to a group is if they choose to go live with the Colos.
Right.
And take on the extra hemalurgic spikes and do all that whole ritual. Since he is well past that age and seemingly fairly established in the normal world, you reckon he didn't do that. So not necessarily, you're not really going to necessarily know like someone who might know him, or it's not quite that close.
We don't have like clan relationships with the
not really, no.
I think she'd still like, even though her charm is really bad. So sorry, guys. Not necessarily right now, but to try to figure out where he is and even have a conversation with him at some point, even if someone else wants to come along, or just there's something about just turning on this guy and mowing him down that's not sitting quite right with her.
Roll an influence, and gain an extra 2 dice. One for being Colos-blooded, and another just because this is sort of an interesting circumstance.
Okay. Drive curiosity, does that matter?
Yeah, sure. Add another die for that. Okay. This is definitely that.
Okay. 2 pairs of 5s.
Okay. You've done a lot of guarding through a lot of people, kind of in a pretty wide range. No one has a good contact. A few people say they saw him recently, moving north towards where you are. None of them mentioned the carriage at all. But when you reach out to and this will take a day or so. So this will kind of be what you're doing during this time. When you reach out to the settlement in Weathering, you had done some body work out there. That's pretty far to the west of where you guys are now. Someone remembers a few things. I'll let you know that the coin killer gang used to exclusively be made up of coin shots. It's things that can burn steel, and it allows them to push metal away from them very quickly. You kind of saw that in action. So several of them were shooting that. However, their leader, was in Weathering one time, and a large Koloss-blooded individual, not necessarily well dressed, but challenged him to a duel, and they fought, and the Koloss-blooded individual won. Pretty handedly. He got shot several times. Didn't seem to slow him down. He claimed ownership of the gang, and when he declared this, a lot of the other members were suddenly enraged. No, like they weren't gonna have it. And he remembers that there's something suddenly about him in that moment that was incredibly soothing, and the rest of the gang calmed down, and he just simply told them, this is where it's going to be. And everyone was like, yeah, okay, it's going to be this way. All right. And then he sort of built up this intimidating presence, and he convinced a gunsmith to make these, in Weathering, these shotguns for him. And ever since then, that was about 6 or 7 years ago that this happened, and it was pretty notable. They haven't been back in Weathering since then, but that's kind of what you find out.
When we get back together as a group, I'll start sharing some of that information. Thank you.
So Clarity, you're doing that. Jeremiah, Abner, Elizabeth, what are y'all doing during these couple of days that everybody's sort of figuring it out?
I'm not much for plans, so I'm just cleaning up the bar, fixing the door, fixing the bar stools and everything, making sure my saloon is in tip-top shape.
Okay. All right. Abner?
You're asking what an ammo smith does in the interim. I would like to spend some of that time procuring the necessary materials to make me some good old-fashioned bullets that might... I want to make custom bullets for the job.
How many points of resources would you like to put into this?
Oh, that is an excellent question. I believe I would like to pump 3 of my 6 into it.
So you put in, through the sort of the gunsmiths unions, that you're looking for some ammunition that has some extra stopping power behind it. And you get some designs brought to you for a couple different pieces. You have thug bullets, which are famous for having an extra chamber inside them with more explosives. There's a secondary propulsion, notably for taking out pewter arms or mistings that burn pewter. They tend to be very difficult. They're like crazy adrenaline heads. Then you also get a design that's called a Koloss hammer, and they don't work in pistols. It has to be a shotgun. But it's a bullet design that is similar to the pewter arm thing, has a double casing, but inside the outer casing is very pointed. It's very piercing. the inner one then explodes outward. So it's the bullet going in is a very small entry. The bullet coming out is very large. And Koloss are notable for their very dense muscle mass, so bullets generally don't do as much to them. And some of them have some strong healing abilities as well. So this is sort of you have a feeling that these ammunitions would do something heavy to these groups.
Well, guess I better get down to brass tacks and start making us some gun ammo.
All right, make a physique roll. Add one for your gunsmithing, one for your stunt of custom ammo, and what other traits do you have?
I am heavy-handed.
This is more delicate work than that.
Yeah.
Your drive to create a new weapon.
Yeah, and I have
These are all
push
are all
boundaries.
experimental ammunitions. They're not something you can just buy. You have to make them. So yeah, add that as well.
Oh yeah. And my personality trait, does that count too or no?
What is that?
Intense. Just
Sure,
not
sure.
pushing it, but I just wanted to verify personality traits can be added into checks.
Yeah,
as
they
well.
can be.
Okay.
If you want to spend the rest of the planning time doing this, I'll let you do the intense.
Yep, this is my contribution.
Okay.
And I better hope to God that these 9 dice do me something. Well, I see a whole mess of 4s and I got 2 6s. So
All right. So you managed to make about 20 rounds of the pewter arm bullets and 5 of the Koloss hammers.
okay.
Elizabeth, what would you like to be doing during this time?
So I probably would be doing my best to monitor this group while they're in. Well, you said they went south of town. Probably would have kept an eye out in case they did come back into town, even if they came in small groups, to see maybe where they're going, find out from anybody that they meet with, anything I can find out about them, or even just maybe listening for some rumors coming into town. I basically am just trying to figure out how is their group structure set up and what weaknesses might they have.
Go ahead and roll wits. Add 1 for a favorable circumstance, because this is something people are chatting about. And then do you have any drives or personality traits that might aid to information gathering or scouting?
My drive is safety while searching for revenge, so I don't know if that's going to play in here or not.
I'll let it count, because you're pretty sure that this is who this is.
So it's going to be 6 die.
Okay.
I got 2 1s and 1 6.
Okay. You don't find terribly a lot. You head south towards the rail stop, and it is confirmed for you probably what you had suspected, that they showed up. They killed all the guards very quickly. There's some rumor that maybe they were disguised or something. It's not 100% clear, and they took the aluminum. From what you're gathering, they would probably have to head to a different town to try to sell it all quickly, because aluminum is so valuable. It's not something you can really hold on to very long, because either someone else is going to try to steal it, or the police will catch up with you. So that's likely where they're going now. So when they come back, from what you can gather, when they come back to Last Stand, they're coming back to sort of retire, is the idea. Clarity. So you and Joe reach out to various people. As you do, the responses you get back aren't all favorable. Some people are like, oh, Clarity, the time we shared was the best of my life, but I'm rooted here now, and just a lot of that. A few people do offer to come out. So you got about 5 people that say they're willing to come. Joe's contacts, however, tend to be a little more helpful, and he's like, well, it looks like I can get a shipment of some unstable powder to come on through here, and perhaps some other construction supplies. We might be able to build some sort of fortification. And so he's that's sort of what he can provide that you guys can have at your disposal.
Okay.
So you all spend a day or two kind of getting this together. Dax, with your information, you reckon that they'll take them probably another 6 or 7 days before they're back. So you guys have about a week.
Okay.
What would you like to do during the week to prepare for their return?
I definitely want to charge up my metal mine. Pretty powerful. See if I can't so that when they come into town, I'm sharp instead of being a little bit ditzy, a little bit dull this week. Yeah. I don't know.
Are we able to set up some type of ambush?
This is y'all's time. You can do whatever you'd like.
I mean,
Are we all together by any chance, or?
I can definitely lure a few of them in with me and my girls. I mean, we have ways of dealing with unruly clients such that they'll sleep through the night, for sure.
Maybe we can also set up a welcoming party at the bar.
Perhaps. I think we'll want to thin them out a bit first, don't you, dear? Perhaps a goodbye party.
That is what we're looking
Or maybe
for.
if we make them think that we're welcoming our new mayor, they'll be a little more relaxed and more likely to partake in some beverages that might be a little harder to digest, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I do, dear. I know quite well. I think that's an excellent idea.
Are you talking about just the guards, or are you talking about entertaining him too?
Both.
Can't imagine the new mayor celebrating with his constituents.
So here's the thing about that. Do you remember when he came into the bar and like things started to feel kind of weird? Did you notice that?
Won't forget it.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing that he does that he's done for a real long time. And the story is that I heard that he was able to get that whole gang to accept him even when they didn't want him because of whatever sort of woo woo he can do. So I don't know if we want to expose ourselves to that because we might end up just loving our mayor so much if we're not careful.
Oh dear, I can handle any man.
It's quite what you're thinking it is.
I think Sarah might have a point. You see, before he went up into the bar there, when I was sitting outside, he made me lower my rifle. You know me, I don't lower it for nothing. I think Sarah's got a point. We might want to be a little more stealthy,
Clarity,
a little more careful, like.
As they're describing what they experience and what they're feeling, you sort of think, and it takes you a second, but you realize that what they're likely talking about is that this Kolos is also a misting. And it sounds like he's a soother.
Oh.
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So it sounds like this is he's probably burned some metal to calm emotions and to sort of manipulate people a little bit. Um, it's a powerful combo based on what the way they're describing it. That's what it's evoking in you.
Diaz, I think that we are wise to take caution, but like I said, I can handle any man.
A lot of confidence.
You let me talk to that tall drink of water, and I'm sure that he and I will come to quite the agreement.
Who you are right now might not like the agreement you come to then.
I have my ways, dear. Do not worry about me. Now, I will not be partaking in any welcoming committee you all be setting up, but I can surely distract that man while you perhaps deal with his underlings.
You think you can hold his attention as his underlings, as you say, are being properly welcomed back into town?
Perhaps, depends. Abner, you wouldn't happen to have anything that might quiet your raucous nature, would you?
Nothing quite quiet about this shotgun here.
That's why I'm asking Abner, dear, if he has something that might, I don't know, or I'm not one for guns, dear, but y'all need to be perhaps just a tad less loud.
Well, I don't know of anything that makes a gun less noisy when you're shooting off them bullets, but I can tell you what, Jeremiah. I pull out the Kolos
Hammers.
I typed it down. The Kolos hammer shells that I made, and I slide them across the bar to you. These are designs that I got from my network of contacts. Something experimental, as it were. I'd take some care when you're loading those up, but given the size of our potential target, I think they may come in handy. Sarah, you probably don't want to ask any questions about those.
If you say so.
As for you, Elizabeth, you and I both know that sometimes regular bullets ain't gonna cut it. I slide 10 of the rounds to you from the thug bullets. These might handle some of those smaller folks a little better than a typical slug.
I'm gonna drag him towards me.
And I'm sorry, Clarity. I don't have any idea how to make guns less noisy, but if you make each shot count, it don't matter.
Abner.
What?
Darling.
What?
A potato in front of your muzzle can silence a bullet quite nicely.
I'm sorry, is it dinner time right now? I thought we were discussing a plan, not talking about having food.
I don't know if I can find a potato big enough for this shotgun. Maybe 2 potatoes?
Abner, you remember I told you once I was a potato farmer?
Are you still a potato farmer then?
I got some potatoes in my stores.
All right, well, if you bring them over, I'm sure that Jeremiah can cook them up. I just don't know what you're talking about right now.
I cannot cook potatoes.
Oh, jeez.
We got a tater plan. All right. But, Clarity, do you have one of them pianos at your place?
Yes.
Can you play it real loud and have everybody talking real loud? Just having a good old time?
Me and my girls can make quite a ruckus when we need to.
All right, like whatever you mean by that, and I don't really want to think about it too hard, but like whatever that is, you can do all that. And I guess we're going to do a tater thing, and then we'll put them together. and hopefully that'll make it quiet enough.
Now, Sarah, you know Broomhilda. She's got the ass for you. You come over, you'll see what kind of ruckus we can make. But
I mean, I like to just have like, I don't like to have money involved, but I respect you anyway. But so yeah, you just make your ruckus, however you do, and we'll make our taters, and we got it good.
all right, so is the plan then to split this group to try and bring that tall Kolos gentleman into my establishment with some few number of his guards, and for the rest to join you here, Jeremiah. And then once you have dealt with the ruffians, you will either be joined shortly by that gentleman as soon as he realizes something is afoot, or you will join me in my establishment and we will dispatch them. Is that the plan?
I can't say I'm the mastermind of this plan, but I'm willing to go with whatever sounds good.
Do we have a mastermind?
If we do, it ain't me. Clarity, got a question for you before we continue. This
Yes, dear.
this power that the supposed mayor has got, how exactly does it work? Am I able to plug my ears?
I don't know.
What he says, you know, based on your experience with soothers and riders, that what they say helps them like guide and work through what they're doing. But like most powers, no, it's just something they can do.
Okay. Yeah, he's just going to exude that aura of confidence. But don't you worry. Hopefully, he'll be at least a little bit incapacitated or at least surprised by the time you show up.
Well, if you say so.
Oh, just to be clear, we're all on the same page. So we're going to distract this mayor intent, some of his potentially numero uno, whatever they call them, at your place, Clarity. We're going to distract the rest of them at the bar. Maybe take a few of them out. Then what?
Well, I have a feeling at that point in time, as you said, not as Abner said, not much can quiet a gun too much. So I have a feeling the gentleman from my place of business might be coming over, but you will at least not be dealing with all of them at once. There's only so much me and my girls can do, or so much I would risk them doing to stop these men. But I mean, we can make sure that they are well in their cups, and well, we'll add a little something to the wine.
As you all are discussing, Joe makes his way in. Well, I told you I might get some supplies, and I managed to get both some building materials for however you might want to use them, and a bit of highly volatile black powder. And as he speaks, a few people like carry in 5 large barrels. He says the construction supplies are outside.
So we can like build a hut and then blow it up. Thank you.
Whatever you choose to do is on you. And he tips his hat and backs out.
I can't say I know much about black powder, but that many barrels scares even me.
What do we want to blow up? And what does he mean exactly by construction supplies?
I would assume wood, dear.
All right. So what do we want to blow up, and what do we want to do with a bunch of lumber?
Well, maybe those construction supplies might be able to help me out after. And then I go to like the middle of my bar where all the tables are at. And I'll move one of the tables over, and I'll start pulling some wood planks from the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say maybe we can put one of those barrels in here, and those construction supplies could help me out afterwards.
Like you want to blow up your bar and
Wouldn't
then
be,
rebuild it.
Sarah, you know, you and I both know it wouldn't be the first time I had to rebuild this bar.
Well, I'm sorry about that. Okay, that was just the one time.
Hold
But
on a minute. Perhaps we create a giant speech podium using some of them materials and ask for our new mayor to give a fanciful speech, at which time we wait for the perfect line to blow him to hell from underneath his feet.
Abner,
I
you
gotta
have a truly ruinous mind, and it is delightful.
Abner, I think I could just kiss you right now. I
Yeah.
won't, but
Y'all,
I
this
think
is
I
why
could.
I'm not the mastermind.
Some of us are just gifted when it comes to blowing things apart, right?
well, and Abner, next time we have to do something like this, could you be the one to speak first?
I just wanted to see where everything was going.
Well, Silver, you took your sweet time, didn't you?
It takes time to polish metal now, don't it?
You're the
All
gunsmith.
right.
I wouldn't know all too much about that. Is Joe here with us? Joe is here with us, right?
He stepped back outside. You have a feeling that the amount of powder that he had brought in made him very nervous.
All right, dears. If we're going to make a cannonball out of this man, then how do we get him up on the podium and keep
Well, I
him there?
believe Jeremiah was the one that was so thankful at his offer to compensate for said whiskey and violence that perhaps Jeremiah should be the one to encourage him onto the podium. And I could hide up on one of them rooftops and use some of them potatoes to keep my shots a little more silent. Since y'all ain't so interested in my technique.
That sounds wonderful to me. Is there anything y'all would like me to do? This sounds like, well, I mean, we can be there in the crowd, but I don't want to risk my girls' lives from that shrapnel.
Of course not. But perhaps you can use some of your patented honeyed words to encourage him up on that there stage as well.
That I can do, dear.
Maybe we have Joe out there spread the word that maybe the settlers here don't sit too close to the podium.
Perhaps if we set up some chairs at a comfortable distance, he'll think it was planned and not so much obvious.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Perhaps we could even, perhaps we could use some of those supplies. I mean, building a very nice podium should not take too much. Perhaps we could build something that might, a small bandstand or group area that might provide a little bit of cover for our civilians.
Another thought occurs. This man travels with a big entourage. Anyone who is undisposed of could be encouraged to sit front row.
There you go, dear. You, that ruinous mind is on fire tonight. Well, I think we have ourselves a plan. I think that my girls can definitely convince all those gentlemen that they do need to be in front supporting their boss to make sure that this rabblous town listens to what he says, cheering him on.
I'll make sure to bring all the whiskey in the saloon out there, And maybe you can have the ladies step back to pour their partners a drink to get them out of the way.
Sounds like a delightful idea.
All right. So, you all spend the next few days with the additional people that also arrived in town, building a nice little podium and sort of a walled-off bandstand area.
Can it be a gazebo?
Gazebo. You set the stage quite literally for the return of the bandits. Is there anything more specific or different that you guys also want to do during this time?
I actually might suggest that we try to get him before he starts to talk. I mean, I would love the idea of waiting for a sweet line too, but if he's going to start using his stuff on us, that might not be worth the sweet, sweet, sweet irony.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
totally would have agreed with that
Yeah.
plan if Sarah's proposing it. Definitely,
We can
I
maybe
probably would make sure that there was a sack of potatoes on a choice route. Don't y'all laugh. It's a thing.
Tigers and mash, that's all I'm saying. That's still the name of this plan.
That's fantastic.
It's probably your crew
Per
name now,
episode.
actually. All right, so you all go about the construction. Several days pass. You are confident that you've got this set up as best you can. The day arrives when you hear that fateful as the crew gallops back into town. Sans carriage this time. So you see that the well-dressed large gentleman is riding on what essentially a Clydesdale almost. As they ride in, they all see that you all have like constructed this area, and it's a little different. Well, now, what have you all been up to in this last few days?
I'll greet him. I'll have my hair up and just a big old updo. I'm wearing my finest scarlet dress with a big old bustle. Got my little parasol. Now I don't think we were able to be introduced last time, sir, but you made quite the impression on this here small town, and we wanted to welcome you properly.
And this time he is wearing like a fine, well-tailored, sort of dark, like forest green suit. The bowler matches, and there's a large like feather coming out of it this time. He seemed to want to make a different kind of display. He says, well, if you are the madam of the town, I am much obliged to meet you. And he reaches down and he kisses your hand. Very gentle, very gentle.
Okay.
So, what is all this now?
Well, I mean, we were hoping to have a little bit of a celebration in honoring our new mayor. I think drinks are in order first for you and your men, but we were hoping a little later you might give us a speech.
Well, then, you all have certainly come around. That is always so good to hear. Go ahead and make a charm roll.
How many charges, in theory, could I have built up over the past couple of days, I guess?
And still be like functional to plan. Probably close to 100, in all honesty, since you can do 5 an hour.
Okay, cool. So I think as soon as I start seeing him, I'm going to be starting to tap charges so that I'm going to tap, when I tap, I get to add charges to my charm.
Yes, I believe so. Let me see.
For every charge I tap, I gain 1 with charm and wit. Okay.
Yep. That is true.
Cool. Then I'm gonna start tapping charm pretty hard, and I'll tap. I'll tap 6 charges just so that I can go all out with this guy.
Right.
So 2 pairs of 5s and 2 6s.
Well, now, I'm not a man who partakes of libations, but of course my men do. Direct them to do so, and once they are ready, I suppose I can give a rousing speech, and then I might retire to a certain establishment here in town.
Oh, you flirt. I too am not much of a drinker myself. I do know that Jeremiah has some delightful sparkling water, though.
Interesting. This is not something I've had before. He sort of like leads out, like kind of lowers down and leans out an elbow.
Definitely take that elbow.
Accompany me.
It would be my greatest pleasure, dear.
He also looks back and whistles, and his horse guides all of the other horses like to the stall. It's very weird.
Wow.
And
That's
they all
very
just sit there.
That is quite impressive, sir.
It is a rare find, that particular breed. I can show you more later. And he sort of like happily goes about. So he steps into the bar, so do his men. They begin drinking, they're laughing back and forth. A few gunshots get let off, you know, nobody's shooting at anybody, but they're all like celebrating and being kind of dumb. They get pretty good and liquored up. He says, I believe it is time for a speech.
If
Can I
at all
interrupt with one question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
For any of our like HP, our willpower, everything that went down
That's all been restored.
in that
Yeah,
earlier
yeah, yeah.
combat is back up?
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. Continue.
You're fine. I should have said that. He walks out of the bar, and he sees Jed, he sees Joe, he sees the various other members of town. He smiles at them. He says, I'm glad you all changed your mind and welcomed my new leadership to your fine city.
I want so much to say, so Sarah's just got like a comment, and she's just they're just.
Says, yes, we are happy to have you.
Yeah, sorry, just got a little bit of indigestion. Sorry.
Wow. Just gonna take a picture real quick, and I'll show you all this later.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Joe says, if I could lead you to the podium, and I believe Miss Clarity's girls will tend to your boys. I appreciate that offer, yes. And he guides him towards the podium. Elizabeth, I need you to make a wits roll for hiding.
So that's 4 plus anything?
You are going to get some advantage because this is a little later on in the day. So you have a favorable circumstance, and then I imagine you're like hiding behind something. So,
there's like a sack of potatoes, so.
Well,
sack of potatoes will come in handy later.
Would be a little suspicious, so I'm kind of like hiding.
Sure.
All right, so 4 plus the advantage, 5. Okay. And then do I get the extra one for cover?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, y'all. Let's see how this goes. 4 for wits, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 6s, 2 4s.
Man. Okay. All right. I'm going to post several pictures in the Discord this evening of various dice rolls. All right. he walks out, and this time as he's walking, he like puffs up his chest a little bit. He like pulls those shoulders back, and he didn't drink it all, but he's definitely there. There's a confident strut that he is taking towards the center stage, and he looks up right where you're hiding, takes in a deep breath, keeps on walking. He walks over to the podium, and he waits next to it for his men. He with motions for all them to move in, and they come in and they begin seated. And Clarity, what do you have your girls doing?
I think if at all possible, they've all got like little like cheap champagne flutes filled with, I don't know, wine. But if at all possible, they've all got a little poison ring that they've kind of dumped into that of just something that'll really mess up these boys, not kill them, but like something that doesn't sit well.
Make a physique roll.
Oh God.
Get favorable circumstances because a lot of these people are very drunk.
Uh-huh.
And then one for the tool.
Okay.
And one because it's a madam and her ladies are used to certain deceptions. So go ahead and add that as well.
All right. Double fives and double threes.
I just want everyone in the audience to know Goat is going to gloat over all these rolls later, which is why he's getting video evidence.
Just taking some pictures. So, your ladies, they turn their little poison rings, or they, however they're administering, they do their little thing as they're flirting and like, oh, you're so strong. Oh, your gun, that's an impressive model. Like just sort of, doing all the little things to get everybody sort of calm,
corralling them towards the front, and then like as seeing this gentleman kind of move towards the podium, they're kind of just like, oh, I'll just be right back with the drink, dear, and start to pull back as he's moving towards the podium.
Abner, what are you doing?
Waiting for the right time to pull the trigger.
Okay.
And blow it up.
Jeremiah, what are you doing?
I'm making it pretty obvious that I'm bringing bottles of whiskey from the saloon over to where all the chairs are at, and I set a little table up where my shotgun is also under.
Gotcha. Okay. Sarah.
So he's leading Joe's leading him up onto the stage.
Joe's leading him to the stage. He gets to the stage and then he stops. And he's standing next to it. He actually turns and scans the crowd and he sees you. And he walks over to you real quick.
Oh, darn.
He sort of holds up a hand.
Okay. If possible, and you don't have to allow me to, but at some point, I would have liked to just very quickly, when Abner's not around anyone else, just gone, oh, we're agreed that Joe's kind of expandable. He's like too close to the stage. Are we good with that?
Whatever we gotta do.
All right, I'll take that as a yes. All right, good. I'm just retconning that conversation.
No, it's fine.
I'm sitting like in the back of the audience.
So he sees you and he walks over and says, now last time we did not get a lot of time to talk. It has been a long time since I've seen someone who pulled my interest.
Your interest?
Oh, yes. I do hope as we establish ourselves here that perhaps you and I could take some time and get to know each other better.
What do you want to know?
I like you. I like the way you do things. I look forward to it. He walks off.
You just make sure the stage is okay. Just go. make sure that everything's in order on the stage.
And he sort of like waves a hand at you. He begins to step onto the stage in front of the podium. And as he does, suddenly this radiation of energy just shoots out from him. Going far and wide. Everyone make a wits roll. Since you all know what it is, gain a bonus.
Danger sense?
Yes, that'll get you a bonus too.
Does my quick reflexes help me with that?
Not particularly.
Then
Abner, your personality trait. That will help. You're not as easily emotionally quelled. Yeah, you're very intense. That'll help.
Can I be continually burning charges to bump my wits as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Elizabeth, do you have any particulars?
Not unless my mechanical left eye is going to help me.
No, that one's not going to play.
Yep. It's fine.
Can I try air of confidence that I can stay calm and confident about our plan and not be freaking out about it?
Sure. Go ahead and roll.
No, no, taking pictures.
Yes,
The pictures are giving me anxiety.
Stop taking pictures. Damn.
What did everybody roll? Elizabeth, we'll
2
start with
4s.
you. 4s? Abner.
2 4s and a 6.
Jeremiah.
Just 2 5s.
Sarah.
2 4s and a 6.
Clarity.
2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s, and a 6.
I forgot we're also supposed to announce 6s. I also had a 6. 1 6.
Okay. This power rushes over you, and it's more intense than last time, and it feels targeted, where before it was a single emotion that was suppressed. It feels like a weight is trying to shift you all into just pure catatonia. It's directionless, though. It just seems like this is a final move. And in this moment, you all start to flutter, and the commitment and the plan, and maybe this is the good idea, and maybe this is what you should do, and just maybe a strong leader could really do something good for your town. Just as it feels like maybe this is going to be your new norm. Each of you separately see the statue of One-Eyed Joe. And the statue of One-Eyed Joe was intentionally built to not be particularly pretty. It is scarred. The clothing is ripped and tattered. The gun that he's holding has just so many scrapes and scratches across it. And like there's whoever made the statue is very talented, because like it even looks like there's blood streaks going down his face. But there is an unflinching resolve that they captured in that moment. And it just sort of reminds each of you while you're here, and all of you come back from this ability. He steps onto the stage and begins to speak. Smile blazing across his face. You all have made a fine choice here today, accepting a strong leader to guide Last Stand to maybe being the first stop in greatness. Does anybody want to do anything?
Yeah! All right, yeah. Get.
Can I blow
Jen?
him up?
Can I blow him up?
You're shooting the stage?
Just out of curiosity, where's good old Joe?
Joe backed off quite a bit.
Oh, good. Then the stage is going boom.
All right, so you're taking a shot at the stage. Elizabeth, what are you doing?
I'm gonna aim for his head just in case somebody didn't succeed in that mess and doesn't pull the trigger.
Okay, you take aim. Jeremiah?
I'm kind of conflicted on what I want to do after that. Actually, I'm not gonna reach for my shotgun. I'm gonna reach for one of those bottles of whiskey, and I'm gonna grab them, and um, I'm gonna burn some tin just
Okay.
to so I can keep track of like who's around.
Mhm.
And I think I'm just gonna tell you what my plan is. My Jeremiah's plan is, if the shots don't work, Jeremiah's gonna pretend to go up there and tell everybody to kind of stop and just say, maybe we have made a mistake, or maybe this is the best for the town, and just try to get close to the new mayor. And his plan is to shoot one of the shotguns on the hip down into the floor, onto the barrel.
Okay. All right. Clarity, what are you doing?
As soon as he starts speaking, I'm gonna burn 40 charges of zinc so that I am very aware of what is going on and I know where all of my girls are. And
Okay.
as soon as shit starts to go down, I'm gonna try and signal them, and I think they're each gonna grab a man that is still up once this blows up and start yelling and screaming about the law coming. And they're just going to be trying to cause confusion among these guys, as
Okay.
I am as well.
Okay. Sarah?
Yeah, so my cheering is an attempt to get the crowd kind of going a little bit, so he'll be distracted right at the last second because he's got a big damn ego and he's going to be really excited that people are cheering for him, is my theory.
Okay.
And then I'm just ready to, whoever's left standing, who I think is awful at the end of the explosion, I'm going to just run at with my sword because that's my usual plan.
You start cheering. He says, and I, Obadiah Steelarm, will bring you all this. Wait. You shouldn't. He's looking right at you, Sarah. And you see confusion and a little bit of anger as he begins to realize maybe his ability did not chill everyone out.
Too hype, you
Abner.
guys.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
Go ahead and make your rolls.
All right, so that's wits, right?
Wits. You
Plus
aimed.
my marksman.
Yep, you aimed.
And,
you're a marksman. You're a gunslinger.
Yep.
Right. Yep. So add a die for that. Favorable circumstances. He does not know where you are, so you're getting the drop on him.
Yep.
Abner.
Wits.
Wits. Favorable circumstances. He is confused.
Would heavy-handed play into this if I just... Yeah, I don't know if heavy-handed really plays into this, so I'm
probably not
gonna
into
ignore
this.
that.
No.
Would Ammo Crafter be able to work into this if arguably I have a special something that's like incendiary or might cause the powder keg to go kaboom better?
Sure. We can add a die for that. You know how to compensate for the differences in your ammo and the type of gun that you're shooting, and yeah, sure.
This is just a question that I have for everyone. We put all the powder kegs under there, right? Okay, not just...
I was just going with one. Okay. There are 5.
So then what are we going to do with the rest of them?
I didn't know. You just talked about one.
We just needed one for the bar.
Oh,
I assumed we were just going to try to blow him up.
All right. Go ahead.
It's more fun if we put 5 there.
We don't want him to pull a super shredder on us.
Take your
crawl
shots.
out of the carnage.
Take your shots.
Can I ask a quick question out of curiosity? Would those ammo that Abner gave me do anything?
With the way he described it, yeah, probably wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
Good news is I succeed, but with a 2.
Okay. Elizabeth?
So I got 2 sets of 4 and 2 6s.
Bang, bang! 2 shots go off. Actually, bang, ping! Because one goes through a potato. Go off, and part of the stage breaks across. Your aim was a little off, and it does not hit the barrels. However, as he suddenly freaks, he looks down, and just careening from a rooftop, a bullet strikes him in the side of the head. You see his whole body like wrench to the side and drop to the ground. It takes a second for all of his men to react. They like they're confused. It looks like the poison took hold, and when he indiscriminately calmed everybody, his people were affected too. And so there's a grogginess of, can they get up? I don't know. Sarah, who are you going for?
He's down.
He got hit.
Oh, I'm going for him if I'm not sure that he's down. I'm running right up there. Oh, but it
Okay.
hasn't blown
Do
up
you want
yet.
to take any swings on your way? It'll take you a second to get there.
Oh, if I'm running past people, I'm any of his people.
Go ahead and roll physique.
Yeah. Okay.
Add an extra die because they're like near catatonic. So I think 10 dice. Roll 10 dice.
Yes. It is the best feeling ever.
Jeremiah, Clarity, what are you two doing?
Seeing this, I'm just gonna go, oh fuck, and I'm gonna use my quick reflexes to actually grab my shotgun, and I'm gonna run straight to the podium, slamming my bottle of whiskey on the head of the closest person, and I'm running in there to shoot the stage.
How close are you getting to the stage?
I've used a shotgun a lot, so I think I know the range of whatever my shotgun would need to get into that.
So you run up along the left side. Sarah runs through the center. What's your roll, Sarah?
Can I just say what the whole thing is? Just
Sure.
A 1, 2 2s, 1 3, and 6 4s.
Okay. Are you multi-attacking? Because several are within range of you.
Yeah. I'll split 2 and 2.
Okay. So you smash 2. They just fall. You're not sure if they're dead or you just knock them unconscious, but there is blood spraying. Jeremiah, as you run up to the side, it seems like one on the far end maybe wasn't as strongly affected by either the power or the poison, and he's going up and trying to pull a gun out. You smash a bottle of whiskey across the back of his head. He falls forward. You take your shotgun and you go to pull the trigger. Roll wits. Add 1 for favorable circumstance and 1 for the gun.
There we go. Okay.
Are you using the Kolos hammers?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they were already loaded in there. I'm okay. Okay. 2 5s, 2 6s, a 3, and a 1.
You bring your gun up to take aim, and he looks up at you. There's like a chunk missing off the side of his head, but he is still conscious. You all are gonna pay for. And right as his sentence is about to finish, you find your sights. Do you want to say anything?
Welcome to Last Stand, Mayor.
You pull the trigger, and these 2 slugs come flying out of the gun. In that moment, Clarity, from your point of view, the world has slowed down. You have watched every piece of this happen. In your head, you've been calculating the odds of what's going on, and you weren't sure at first. Oh God, is he even dead? Oh no, he hit the wrong corner of the stage. And then Sarah comes through and knocks a few of them out. And then you see Jeremiah. You remember the bullets he has. You see him talking the Obadiah, but it's slow and muttered, and you hear Jeremiah's voice, and you watch smoke come out of the front of his gun. and these two massive shells fly forward. They get about halfway there and they break again into these just impressively large bullets. And you watch as you can see Obadiah's eyes go wide as he looks down at the stage and he's looking at the corner that was broken off and he sees the kegs. And the bullets rip through where he's looking into the kegs. And you just watch, there's a bit of like a draw in of air. And then outward it all goes. And a ball of flame rockets up into the sky, and a shockwave goes out. Sarah, make a physique roll. 9 dice.
Yeah, I realized a little too late that I ran for the explosion.
You're good. Obadiah, also make a physique roll.
You
Sorry,
mean
Jeremiah. Sorry, Jeremiah, make a physique roll.
Good thing I've got 2 in physique. That's just a 5 and a 2.
Okay. Jeremiah, you get blown back on your ass. You actually get blown back and roll over once into the side of a building. The shockwave of the explosion is absolutely massive. A ball of fire goes up. It rips across the crowd. Sarah, what was your roll?
2 4s, 3 5s, and 2 6s.
Okay, you stand and you take the wind as it comes in, and all of Clarity's girls kind of hide behind you as you become this unmovable obelisk to the shockwave that rips around you. Elizabeth, you go and you reload. Abner, you are preparing something else as this massive explosion and destruction rip through. A few seconds goes by, the smoke clears, it dies down. There's a fire just going as to what's left of the stage. Planks of wood are just smashing into the ground all around you. Most of the windows in the town got blown out. And he stands there. Sorry, he hits the ground. Sorry, he flew in the air. He hits the ground. There's at least one arm missing. Part of a leg is just blown to pieces. He's charred and scarred. And you think that's it. And then he goes, and his arm moves. And he pushes back up. And he reaches for a shotgun. But his is just shaky. He can't quite do it smoothly. Elizabeth and Abner, would you like to do anything?
I want to shoot him.
Me
All right.
too.
Roll your shots. Sarah, would you like to do anything?
I'm busy protecting the girls.
The shockwave has ended,
Okay,
and
they're
you
all
see
good?
him like start to move.
Oh, could I please
He's-
chop a head off?
I mean, go run for it.
Oh.
Elizabeth, make your roll. Abner, make your roll.
I have 2 2s, 2 5s, and a 6.
Okay.
2 5s and a 6.
Okay. As he's going to pull the gun out, Elizabeth, your bullet tears into his wrist and he drops the shotgun. Abner, your bullets fly into his chest and just kind of makes him collapse down onto the ground a little bit more. And he's still trying to push up. And he looks up and his face is just blackened and scarred. And one of the eyes is completely gone. And Sarah, you come over. And you bring the blade around. Make your roll.
How many am I rolling?
9?
9.
10. We'll call it 10. Because favorable circumstances. He's on the ground. Not
Yeah, I
moving
think it's
very
pretty
quickly.
favorable. I have a pair of 5s and 3 6s. Boom.
on.
I've been trying to take a head off this whole time. I just want one last chance to make that happen.
Last picture. He sees you and he like tries to move, but his body is battered and broken, and your blade comes through and sinks into the ground.
Yes.
The head rolls away. Quickly, several of the other townspeople go and tackle onto any of the surviving or conscious members of the gang, hog tying them, handcuffing them. Any that have broken out of the poison or managed to overcome the spell that are going for guns, they quickly get either tackled or gunned down. The town is won. A few days later, as you all are cleaning up and repairing, some lawmen come. They're wearing official badges of Ellendale, the capital city. Well, now, it looks like you all had quite a happening. We hear that Obadiah the Titan and his bang of the coin killers came through here. We also heard that quite a large amount of explosives were shipped out here. You wouldn't happen to connect the dots for us, would you?
Oh dear, I'd be happy to connect more than dots.
And with that, the camera fades back, and you all have saved Last Stand.